and when no one's looking, she'll take her dagger and just kind of cut in like 3, I don't know, tally marks actually next to the 4 existing ones to kind of make like a morbid kind of tattoo for the lives she was unable to save. So, yeah, she's taking it hard that she couldn't save those guys.
Okay. All right. So, so as far as you know, by removing these children and taking them to this tavern, at least temporarily, you have relieved Langercliff from the assault by the man in white, the old man in white. You've removed the threat there and sort of solved that problem. You killed the orc leader in the western caves.
Mm-hmm.
You, Gurak recovered. You had let Gurak have the mace. And since then, Gurak has disappeared. He and his friend, Zaxxon the Wanderer, have left the city with the mace. And you have not...
We get for trusting a half-orc.
You have not seen him around the city since the day after they made it back with the mace.
Well, that's disturbing. Before he disappeared, did we get any info about the mace? Was he able to take it to the mages or to the temple, to the church, I should say?
No, it's almost like he made a point of skipping town immediately before interacting with any of you guys and kind of beating feet out of the area with that artifact.
I think that orc set us up. He got us to go down in the caves. He got us to find that dagger that he needs to basically what is that called when you kill somebody ritually?
Well,
Agnar,
oh
no, I have that dagger.
Agnar has the dagger still.
Yeah, but he made us find it, and then he made us find that crazy mace, which is one of the 3 things that he needs to come back. He set us up. He set us all along. I'm telling you, you can't trust an orc. He led you to the orcs. Oh, how convenient that was. So I'm telling you, we gotta hunt him down and get that mace back.
So the leads that you have right now are that there's a west entrance to the caves under the city. There's an east entrance to the caves under the city. The general lore that you know about the caves and the elves and that there's burials down there and that sort of thing. You know that in the old woods to the northeast that there's some activity with this old druid. The woman friend of the painter seems convinced that he's doing stuff over in that area. And then Badger has been curious about this missing tavern keeper for the Giant Crown Inn, which is just at the bottom of the Cunning Tor, at the bottom of the hill. If you follow the road all the way down towards the main road, it's just sort of at the T intersection, right at the bottom of the road before you would turn to come up to Bulgrod.
Now, if I was an orc running away with something, I might have a little meeting at an inn somewhere with somebody I wanted to speak with. He might have ran off to that inn. Or we could go in the woods looking for that druid. Find out what he's up to. I reckon it can't be any good. He might be going after those children, get some more children to do some nasty things for him.
Yep.
Indeed, that must be stopped. Although
Well,
I worry about the
way.
whereabouts of this mace.
Yeah, we need to find that. 2 more pieces to the puzzle, and we're all going to die a horrible death. It won't be ugly. I ain't sticking around to fight no Wraith King reincarnated, I'll tell you that much.
Most assured.
Go back to the Hall Farm.
All right. Hey, so we have 5 player characters. Do you want to hire in an NPC, or does one of you want to voluntarily run a second character?
I mean, I could run Iron Toe because with him I'm playing 1.5 characters.
Is that okay with you guys?
Oh, we could use some more muscle. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Sebastian, you go ahead and play Iron Toe. So
Who is Iron Toe?
Iron Toe is a dwarf, and he's a small dwarf, and he doesn't have a backpack. He carries everything around with a stick and a sack.
like
And complains about how poor he is all the time.
because he's
Yeah.
really crappy on his money.
Okay.
But he is quite strong and quite durable.
All right, so in the front rank, let's do our marching order. You want to have, let's see, Fenariel, do you want to be in front?
Sure, I can.
All right.
I'll be behind him.
It's a her, mister.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Do not make that
It.
mistake again.
So Old Man Witherspoon is going to be behind Fenariel. And then to the right of Fenariel, who do you want to have?
I mean, Iron Toe could be up there, up front. I mean,
Okay. Badger, you want to shoot over Iron Toe's head?
Oh, I love shooting over dwarfs. That's my favorite thing.
All right.
Unless I'm shooting at children.
Whoa.
Well, because they're about the same size as you, and I don't want to hit you.
All right, and then in the back we'll have Braden. And we will have Brother James of the Everflames.
Now I'll be bringing Kip. I'll be bringing Kip with me, and leaving that evil dagger with Agnar to guard.
Okay.
I'm not taking it with me since what happened last time was not good.
Oh, well, that's good. That's interesting.
Yeah, we don't want that falling in anybody's hands.
We don't also want it leaving in the inn. I don't think.
Well, the inn is good. It can't be taken in the inn.
Correct, and also it can't summon him in the inn. So
Yep. Scrying spells, all that kind of jazz doesn't work. All right, so you guys start out in Bulgrad, and you're going to go down the Sworn Road to the north in the direction of the Giant Crown Inn. Let's see, you kind of travel down the hill for a couple of miles. And all right, as you're kind of walking down this this dirt road, it's only about 6 feet wide. It's like an established cart path, and it's just, you know, trampled hard dirt with some gravel kind of mixed in. There's some tall grass growing on either side and a few trees. And up ahead, though, you see 10 blazing elm trees on one side of the road and 10 on the other side of the road. And these trees are kind of like in fall colors year round. And when the wind blows the leaves, it makes them look almost like they're on fire from a distance. They're really beautiful, and they're supposedly something that might have been planted by the elves quite some time ago. They seem to live a really long time. They have tall white trunks and fresh crowns of glorious orange and red leaves. They almost look like fantastical torches when the wind gusts.
well, we'll collect some of those.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Alrighty.
But not enough to hurt the trees. I'm a druid after all.
No.
Sure.
Those might make some nice arrows. I wonder. You think we
might.
could
You want to pick up some branches and
pick up some branches?
Brother James will pick up the wrong branches.
all right, perfect, Brother James. All right, so off to the right, you see a section of rock kind of sticking out of the ground, Badger. And at first you just think it's another one of the outcroppings of regular rock that kind of are all over the place on this hillside. But this one is obviously some kind of construction. It's made out of rock that has either been really, really worked to be very smooth or some other kind of rock-like construction material. And it's very broad. It kind of juts out of the side of the hill a good, I don't know, 25 feet. It looks like it's 10 feet wide from where you're standing to the other side of it. And then it looks like there's quite a significant part of it potentially buried in the ground in the side of the hill.
Well, would you look at that? We should go take a closer look. I ain't never seen a rock formation like that.
Okay. So you go over there, and Go ahead and roll a d20 under your wisdom or intelligence, Badger.
Oh, definitely wisdom. At least I got a 50-50 chance. Oh, dang. Boy, that's a weird looking rock. Come over here and take a look at that. Somebody who's a little smarter than me. What's going on with this rock over here, Druid?
Anybody
Okay,
want
I'll take a
you
look at
guys
it.
kind of look around. Anybody that wants to can roll. You can choose intelligence or wisdom and roll a d20 under it. And if you make it, then let me know.
Brother James will try and look at the rock, even though he knows nothing about rocks. Yeah, he knows nothing about rocks.
The rock.
Braden made his wisdom check.
Okay, Braden. I mean, you're a druid, so you would kind of notice this kind of stuff too. You kind of put your hand on the side of this thing, and you know immediately that that is not natural. That's something that somebody made. If you have a feeling it's pretty old, you think that the dwarf might be able to tell you more about it. And you kind of step up on top of it and take a look around. I mean, it's just this harmless big piece of smooth rock, right? But you notice that off in the distance, there's another one of these rocks, kind of amidst some trees down to the northeast, down slope. And it's a little more exposed from the side of the hill. And it looks almost like a T shape, kind of leaning. And it's about 200 yards from this one.
So does this one look like it maybe fell over, or
Could have just sort of subsided with a lot of age. Do you want to get Iron Toe to take a look at it? He's a dwarf, so he's pretty good with that kind of thing.
Sure, I'm just wondering, does it look like maybe it made the henge?
Doesn't look like a henge. Doesn't look like the henge stones are sort of like natural stones that have been pulled out of the ground or quarried in some way. This surface is almost perfectly smooth, except for some wear marks here and there.
Iron Toe, why don't you check for entrances? Perhaps some type of entrance is hidden.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, Iron Toe.
D6?
You want to roll low. You want to get a 1 through 4.
I got a 1.
Oh, awesome.
Oh.
Okay, you look around and you take out one of your weapons and you kind of use a flat part of it to sort of try to chip away at it. And what you notice is that there are some pieces of metal bar in this rock.
Just as I suspected all along. It's a fake rock.
And you recognize the material as something that the dwarves have used before as a mortar, but somebody here has had an even better developed ability to use this stuff. And so this whole piece looks like it was poured and formed at one point, and it's really, really old. You're thinking this thing is almost 1,000 years old or more.
We're in North World. You're all androids.
I don't get that reference. I know we're up north. We're up north somewhere. We all know that.
All right.
Iron Toe will then say, "It's great dwarven craftsmanship."
Yes, so what does it signify?
Well, it was cast. It
So
signifies, obviously.
Are these
the mark?
waypoints? Are these blazes? Does this mark an entrance that we cannot find?
Iron Toe will try and find out by, Iron Toe will try and push the rock. It's obviously a secret entrance.
All right. So you don't find any secret entrance or anything like that, but you do find down in the gravel at the base of this rock, perfectly spherical stone that you recognize, since you're a dwarf, as being of gem quality. It's dirty and filthy. It's been sitting here a long time, but this is, somebody has worked this and made this into a round gem. And you pick it up. Do you show it to these guys, or you just stick it in your pocket?
Judging by Iron Toe, he will say nothing of note and stick it in his pocket.
Okay, you guys all notice this.
Hey, what was that?
I just shake my head slowly.
Nothing. It was a rock.
Are you picking up acorns over there? Or
Yep. Yeah, I eat acorns. I'm a dwarf.
Now, what did
Dwarves
you
ate
find?
I found this. I will take it out of my pocket and just hold out in my hand, but at like a distance.
Do you guys put up with that, or do you want to examine it yourself? Or
I grab
gotta
it.
take it. He's good.
It's his.
all right, Alex, roll to hit.
Do I add anything to it?
What's your strength bonus?
+1.
Yeah.
So 9.
Okay, so Old Man Witherspoon tries to snake it out of your grasp, dwarf. But he's only got one arm, and he's a little off balance, so he's not very good at that.
Seems Old Man Witherspoon is crotchety today.
I'm gonna try and make him trip on his face when he does that.
Okay, so you guys scuffle a little bit, and amidst the scuffle,
Boys, break it up.
they're sort of scuffling around, and the object falls out of the dwarf's fingers and rolls across the ground and ends up right at your foot, Benario.
I snatch it up. And I don't tell them I have it. I let them keep scuffling, and I show Badger and Braden. I motion them over, and I hold it in my hand.
Okay, so you
Oh
motion.
wait, we have somebody else. No, that's it. Oh, Brother James.
Yeah, Brother James.
No,
Brother
he's fine.
James isn't a person.
So
Okay.
you hold it in your hand, and your friends gather around, and as you open your fingers, you can see that despite the grit and stuff on that, in your hand, in your palm, the gem starts to glow a bluish moonlight color, and then rises off of your hand and floats there about a foot off your hand.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, Fenario, you have some power. That's mighty impressive. How do you do that?
Badger, it is not me.
Well, that
Are they
must-
really going to fight over it?
Braden, you want to int roll to see if you know what that might be?
Under intelligence or wisdom or best score?
Your choice.
Oh, I'll definitely choose wisdom. 12. Yes, I made it.
you chose wisely.
You think that might be an elf, a moonstone star. It's a type of coin that the kingdom of the elves used to use. And they will only glow like that when they're in the hands of or touched by an elf or somebody of elven blood.
Oh, so I explained that to him and suggest that Fenario here is of elven blood.
Her eyes widen a little, and I've heard stories. My family may have elven ancestry, but it goes back many generations. Are you sure?
Is your middle name Keebler?
No.
Don't get that
God.
either.
But House Keebler, they are well known where I am from.
Dude, you need to stop talking in tongues.
Easy now, Badger.
Iron Toe will, well, first Brother James is like, oh, an elf, and then Iron Toe's like, an elf, and he draws his sword.
Oh boy.
Hold up, we're all friends here.
Yeah, indeed. Braden, this, so it glows blue in the presence of ancestry. I'm very surprised, but what else does it do?
You're not really sure what it's capable of. It's a form of coinage that the elves used to use.
So you should
Iron
hang
Toe.
on to it.
Well, the
Yes,
dwarf found it. What do you mean
Yes.
you should hang on to it?
I will not warn you again. I am not a he.
No, I said the dwarf found it.
Iron Toe, I would very much like to keep this.
If it's Elven, I don't want it.
Oh,
Well,
well,
I'll
then
take it.
I guess I do not need to barter. Thank you.
Dang it.
That's too bad, Iron Toe. You could have made a couple of gold off that.
I know. I was willing to pay up, but I am in your debt, Master Iron Toe.
Oh, well. Maybe a few rounds on the house when we get back.
Yes.
Should we search for more? Maybe there's more.
Sure.
Moonstone Star.
You want to search the area there, Badger?
Sure.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me. You want to roll low?
3.
No, you don't really find anything else. Nobody's been near this thing any time soon enough. There's no like tracks around here. You know, it just seems, you know, overgrown nature kind of stuff. Anybody else want to search?
Ed, we haven't even reached the tavern yet, right?
This is the downside of my campaign. There's all this weird random shit you can run into on the way.
No, it's not weird. It's just I was just curious where exactly we were. So, are there any rumors that we might remember of there being any sort of elven community near Bolgrad?
Not a community that you know of. The only elven legend about the caves under Bulgarod is that that goddess Aglika fled here when she was cursed. Maybe
Right.
there was a reason why she fled here.
Can you spell that real quick, Ed?
Aglika?
Uh-huh.
Aglaeca.
Cool. I'll point at the other one, 200 yards in the distance, and while we're here, should we not check out the other?
Oh, definitely.
You go on ahead, I say, sitting down on, like, I don't know, a rock or something. I'm too tired for this crap.
Old man Witherspoon, you have not gotten enough sleep today.
No, I'm.
Could have bought a cart and a donkey. We know you're going to be complaining the whole time.
There you go. Old man
You could
Witherspoon.
get out and get some fresh air once in a while.
Old man Witherspoon stretches out on this stone block. It makes a convenient bed, and he throws his pack under his head and just kind of puts a piece of grass in his teeth and sort of just
Drink from my wineskin.
drinks from his wineskin. The rest of you kind of tromp down the hill towards this sort of T-shaped stone formation sticking out of the ground. And it's pretty much just like the other one. There's no visible markings on the sides of it all, although when the dwarf checks it out, you know, it too has this these metal bars all throughout the inside of it. You know, he chips away, you can see that it's sort of reinforcing it somehow.
I will then think about it and announce, okay, I may have lied. These were probably made by elves.
Does
Let's
anybody,
not look for any more. See if there's a pattern. So.
What?
anybody want to search the area around this one, or?
Yeah, Braden would like to search.
Yeah,
Okay.
sir.
Climb up on top and look while you're at it.
Roll a d6 if you're searching.
All right.
5.
Okay, everybody else?
We'll search.
1.
1. Who got
2.
it? 2. Any other 1s and 2s? All right, Badger, roll percentile dice on the I just searched for stuff randomly table.
Okay.
Oh, he found a snake in his boot.
That's right.
Stop talking like that, Druid. Give me a headache. 71.
Awesome. All right. You find a buried in the dirt, just under the surface, a brooch. It looks like it's silver metal, and it's in the shape of a leaf, but the pin clasp on the back is missing, like it broke off at some point. And the leaf pattern is sort of inlaid green gems of some sort.
Does it look like the same type of leaves on the trees that we passed earlier? Would it be like from a birch tree leaf, or I mean an elm tree?
Yeah.
It is. Well, look at this.
Although right now it's kind of the gems are kind of just a dull, filthy, dusty green color, kind of a dark.
Give me a little spit shine.
Okay.
Look, fellas, what I found. There's treasure around here.
Sebastian, you want to roll?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a percentile dice on the useless items table. You just roll the 20-sided dice twice and treat the first one as your 10s roll and then the second one as your 1s roll.
94.
Oh, 94.
Good, I can feel it.
Okay. All right, you find an old bent spoon. Looks like somebody might have climbed over here at one point and had their meal and sat here on this here rock a long time ago and eaten, but it's not an elven thing. It's just a human metal spoon.
Brother James will hold it up. I found something valuable too.
As far as we know, it may have been Old Man Witherspoon if it's that old.
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
All right, well, off in the distance, you really don't see anything else. You're not really able to spy out any more of these from here.
Okay.
And you don't really run into any monsters or anything. That's really all you find.
You don't see any other ones when you step on top of this? We don't see any more?
No, not in eye shot. If there are any, they're fallen over and buried long ago or not visible.
I can't help but feel that there's some significance to this, but perhaps we should move along.
I think the spoon is the key.
I will mark it on our map. So in case we need to come back here, we know how to get here.
Awesome. All right, so you continue on down the hill. Let me see here. All right, you get to the very bottom of the hill. And let me come on down here. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. And hit share. All right. So at the bottom of the road, you see this Giant's Crown Inn. And it's got some smoke kind of coming out of it. Looks like there's somebody still keeping the hearth going or working there. It's got some planter boxes out front. It's got a couple of big glass jars of that bar weed, brewing up that good tasting Weedle. There's a oversized Northman shield here that's got this kind of image with the crown kind of symbol in it, leaning against the door, and this double kind of door deal. Place for chopping wood and all that, and that's what you see.
Any
Have others?
horses?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
No, you don't see any horses out front.
Have others in our group been here before?
Have I been here?
You might have walked past it before, but you've never actually stopped here or gone inside.
Any smells coming from it, like cooking smells, or?
Yeah, there's a kind of a gamey, meaty smell coming from inside, like somebody's got a piece of meat or something on a spit in there, that kind of thing.
I'm getting a little hungry. I said we go in and get some.
Get some what? Finish your sentence.
I'm sorry. I got hungry there for a second. I lost my way.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys
Go in.
on in.
I'm tired of the Black Pilgrim. Let's do something different.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm sick of that place too. Go look for this other map. And we'll close that off. And you guys see that now, the interior?
No.
All right, well, let me find my camera. And we'll do stop share, and then we will do share again, and we'll check that one. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
All right. So as you walk in, you see that this room contains kind of a rustic wooden bar. There's a couple of rectangular tables by a fireplace. There's kind of a round corner table here, a little bit out of view of the door. There's the head of a large red elk mounted just kind of next to the front door there. Behind the bar is a wide shelf containing various bottles. 2 large white candles flicker atop the shelf next to an abstract clay sculpture of a pudgy female form. A sprig of flowers rests next to that. There's a narrow wooden door over here. It's closed. And standing behind the bar is an older woman, gray-haired. She's kind of got an apron on. She's not in armor or anything like that. She's mixing something in a bowl when you walk in, and she says, "Oh, hello. You need a place to stay?"
No, we're just here for a drink and a bite to eat. And then we'll be on our way.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see. I've got a little bit of deer cooking. That's 2 silver pieces of meal. Do you all want some of that?
Oh, for sure.
All right. And then I can give you a cup of Weedle, or I've got some mead that I brew here myself. There's some ale that my husband makes, but we're kind of running low on that, and some hard cider. It's some of the best around, but my husband's been a little absent of late.
Where'd he done go run off to?
She looks a little worried and says, "You know, I'm not altogether sure what's happened to him. He's been gone for a month now. He went treasure hunting in some woods to the northwest of here. Folks around here won't go near that woods. They say that it's haunted or dangerous. But he always swore to me that he knew just where to look, and he would sometimes come back with a few coins."
Did he go by himself?
Good question.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ulf?
What's he look like? Is he a giant?
Well, he's big and strong, you know, handsome. You know, my husband. He's got a fine beard. He wears.
Iron Tail will say, "This is a man I can respect."
He wears chain armor. He's quite a handy warrior, really.
And did he tell you exactly where he was going this time?
Well, like I say, to the woods to the northwest of here. There's the big forest to the northeast, the old forest. But this is just a little copse of woods to the northwest. There's a stream that comes down the side of the Cunning Tor and then runs all the way across the road to the west of here and then into that little woods, that creek. And my husband used to find coins along the creek or in that woods sometimes, and it was often a little extra for us here. You know, we don't often get travelers on this part of the road.
You poor dear, you must be worried sick. And you know that he specifically went to the stream side this time, correct?
Pretty sure. Yeah, he follows the stream looking for these coins, and she rummages in this box underneath the bar and puts these couple of coins on the top of the bar. And they're a mixture of gold and silver and platinum pieces. And they are kind of a hexagonal shape, and they are all dwarven coins that are quite old.
Wow.
None of these look familiar from the ones we recovered in the caves, correct? Or are they similar in age and?
No, the coins that you found from that other treasure were round and had a skull stamped on them, or some kind of a skull pattern. These are kind of hexagonal looking, and they have the face of a dwarf on one side and an ant on another. In fact, Alexander, can you look in our pile of treasure, our treasure box, and bring me up some dwarven coins? Just by the bottom of the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs is that big chest. He'll be up with some coins. We have this whole chest of treasure I've collected over time that we use in our games. So when the boys find coins in my games, they find coins.
Love it.
So this is our loot box. And
can you share your camera again?
Yeah, I will share my camera again here. This is our loot chest.
Beautiful.
And
Nice.
let's see here.
You can't fit a loot in that.
So these coins look like that. We've got a dwarven helm on one side. I'll see if I can get it to focus on there. And then on the other side, we've got like a shield and crossed axes.
Iron Toes, do these mean anything to you?
Iron Toe will look at them and he'll say, "They're coins."
Actually, Iron Toe, you recognize those. Those are coins minted in the Silver Halls, which is the last kingdom of the Dwarves, which was closest to the Kingdom of Ostvick in the east, right at the very edge of the human kingdoms. It's got to be in the mountains, maybe 40 or 50 miles from here. It's pretty far, but that's the last place in the mountains that the Dwarves had a kingdom of any kind.
I'm gonna say, whoa. You could probably find a collector and sell the coins for a bit more than they're worth. These are from the last kingdom of the Dwarves. How they got here, I would have no idea.
Yes, that was my question, where I was going there. Why would they be beside a stream? Huh. Perhaps some poor dwarven traveler met his end there and they're being washed up after a storm.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to talk to maybe the wizards or somebody who knows lore, but you know, this kingdom is full of history. Who knows what could be up there?
Madam, would you be up for a trade, a coin for another? I would like to keep one of these, and I believe there's probably a premium attached to this. I would be glad to pay a little more, but this trinket I would like to keep.
Oh, all right, dear. I'll give you this gold coin for two in exchange.
Oh. Wow. Damn, Ed, you're tough. I'll do it because I want that coin. So I will mark off from my treasure line. Okay.
Iron Toe will say, if you put them together, they'll explode.
Yeah, don't put the elven gem and that dwarf coin in the same pocket.
No, of course not. They just will not get along.
Meanwhile, Benariel, you hadn't really thought about that stone for a while. I mean, you just kind of left it there hanging in the air. And you look around yourself and pat your pockets thinking about it, and it's kind of right off of your shoulder, just floating there, following you along.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Does anybody else notice it? I'm gonna try to just grab it and put it away.
Okay.
Brother
Does it feel-
James. Oh, Brother James could be standing right next to it, and he would not notice.
When you grab it and you kind
Fair
of
enough.
you think in your mind, I'm putting you away. You feel some of the warmth of it go away, and it just feels like a weight in your hand and cold again.
So when I hold it, as everybody else is talking, I almost get ready to put it away, but then I want to focus in my mind on the description that the innkeep just gave of her husband. The beard, you know, a man in chainmail, probably an older man, and I'm trying to envision him maybe, you know, searching on the edge of you know, a cold northern stream somewhere. Do I feel anything by any chance? Do I feel a tug by the?
It feels warm in your hand. Yeah.
I let it go then.
Okay, it goes out the window.
I think we might need to get that.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
We're off.
Okay, I
So,
chase down
innkeeper.
the moon coin, the moonstone star.
Okay, so you trot outside, and it's sort of waiting for you in the direction of this small forest you see off to the northwest.
I peek my head in. Gentlemen, I think we should go.
We lost that thing.
I pay for my meal and I tell the old lady, we will find your husband for you.
Ask her, have you seen a couple of travelers in the last couple of days? One real ugly looking guy, might be look a little bit like a pig
Oh,
nose,
yeah.
and maybe traveling with a like a you know, a robed guy. He wasn't too handsome either, but probably
Any children?
a little secretive. Didn't want hush hush.
Well, there were these two men that came here, gosh, about a week ago. Who came in the middle of the night, woke me up, demanded a room, and it's the first time in forever that anybody's come in the middle of the night, barging in, demanding a room, and then later on, this old man showed up, and they talked and they left together.
Oh shoot! Well, bless your pea-picking heart. We're gonna find those folks. So they left about a couple of days ago.
It's been a
About a
week.
week. About a week.
So that can't be Gurek.
One of them have a real big sword, like bigger than this.
If he had left with the mace the night that he found it, it would have been a week by now.
Okay. Oh crap.
The older gentleman that met with him, was he garbed in white?
What kind of a filthy white? He's not very well kept or well mannered. Honestly, I was a little afraid of all of them.
Dang. We gotta find that druid quickly. Well, let's follow your stone. You get a way to go. Let's follow.
We will follow the stone.
Hold for a moment. Should we not find the mace? My heart tells me that I would like to help this innkeep and find her husband, but also perhaps it is more important to find the mace first. What do you all say?
One's an object, the other can die.
Iron Toe, the dwarf, will lower his voice and bring everyone in and like, we may get free drinks for doing one and probably get hurt for doing the other. And I'm thirsty.
Awesome, Iron Toe.
Brother James is not paying attention.
Awesome.
Well, her husband's been missing for a month. And these guys only have a week head start on us.
That is true. Give me something to steer by. Once again, my heart tells me we should find the missing husband, but that is my way. But
This fella's going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's hanging around. He's not. We'll be able to find him. He's got a lot more up his sleeve. He needs a little more items for his formula to come together. So I say we help out this lady. Maybe get a little good luck on our side for doing something good.
Badger, you're a good man. I'm glad to hear you say this.
All right. So you continue to follow.
And you have a way to get there already. So I say we follow the trail we already know rather than looking for a trail we don't know.
Surely one man's life is not as important as the entire Northlands. Should the Wraith King come back,
Now, wait a minute.
his life will be forfeit.
Bartender. That's the husband you're talking about there, Druid.
We're outside. Go back in your house.
And aren't you a ragged cloak druid sworn to help the people?
I am, milady, but not just one person. I have to worry about all the people.
Well, then you'll be busy.
Iron Toe says, we should find her husband before we have to help ourselves.
Perhaps the two stories are entwined.
Oh, it's yours.
This fella knows his way around the woods. If we find him, he may help us find this druid because he knows his way around here.
Fine, then let's be off.
All right.
Oh, lady, can we borrow a cart and a horse if you have one? I'll pay for it, for the borrowing.
I don't have a
And
cart
if it's...
horse. Sorry.
Dang it. Shoot. I rubbed my knee.
I have a wheelbarrow. You can borrow my wheelbarrow.
I look at Iron Toe.
Iron Toe will look at Finariel.
Gentlemen, surely you don't expect me to push Old Man Witherspoon for miles through the forest.
I hold up a bag of 10 gold.
Iron Toe will push you into the wheelbarrow.
All right,
Like
you're
a
gonna pay
shake.
10 gold to. You're gonna take your 10 gold and give it to the dwarf to wheel you in the wheelbarrow.
It's actually 5, but I say it's 10.
Iron Toe says, I will push you until the end of time.
Good.
Wow.
All right.
Cheap labor.
Make sure you bring it back in one piece, please.
I will, and if I don't, I'll buy one for you.
So you trundle off towards the woods, kind of crossing this large expanse of meadow. You know, it's kind of 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so. It's still the spring, so it's still, you know, kind of cool out there. But thank God for that, because, you know, Old Man Witherspoon is in armor and he's not very light.
Yeah.
And so after, you know, trudging through this entire kind of soggy meadow, Iron Toe, you're a little out of breath and feeling a little tired. And you do see that stream that comes out of the cave and the side of the cunning tor where the dungeon's at comes all the way down the side of the cunning tor, comes north somewhere down the road. We'll go under the road, or maybe there's a little bridge or something, and then cuts across these meadows into a area of woods. So you're at the edge of this creek. Do you just follow the creek for a little bit, or?
Yeah, I'll start looking for some tracks too while we're following the creek.
Okay.
There's a track in the creek mud.
Go ahead and give yourself a 25% bonus, Badger, and make your tracking roll.
All right, so that's 45. Red is first. 29.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, the tracks are old, but there haven't been any like really severe rainstorms lately. There's been some snows and stuff, but you can make out, because you're such a skilled ranger, you can make out some of the impressions probably made by quite a big human in armor, kind of moving along this creek bed. In a few places he's stopped and he's stooped and sort of crouched there next to the stream for a while. And you kind of, in your mind, you kind of imagine him maybe with a pan in his hand, sifting through layers of silt and searching the silt on the side of this river and then moving further along the stream downstream.
Okay. I'm going to definitely look to see if at any point it stops. It looks like he might have crossed the river anywhere.
No, so far it looks like he's just following the stream on down. All right, the stream moves through the forest of pine and black elm trees to where it begins to descend at a steep angle. And you notice that the sides of the stream are deeply cut, and beneath the covering of overhanging moss, tree roots, and accumulated debris and dirt, one would find that it runs through almost a trough of white cut marble that's been laid down in the stream bed here as it starts to pick up steam and kind of go down a pretty steep embankment into an area where the woods grows particularly thick up ahead. And up ahead, you can hear definitely the rush of water.
All right, everyone in the wheelbarrow.
I'm making sure to not be in front of the wheelbarrow in case Iron Toes loses grip during this descent. But is the marble laid out like a ford across the stream?
It's like, it's like a chute for like a water wheel almost. You would imagine a mill or something. Somebody's actually installed a white marble trough at one point in the stream. Once it hits that really steep downward slope, it just built it in there. And at this point, it's been there so long that it's all overgrown with tree roots and hanging moss and the embankment and stuff like that. But clearly, right along the sides of the stream, you can see really nicely polished white marble in there.
Like a sluice for panning or something.
Something, yeah.
Or okay.
And the tracks are still visible.
Yeah, the tracks kind of move away from the stream bed and into the river, but they still go into the forest next to the creek, but they still can keep going downhill in that direction.
The Moonstone Star is also indicating to move that way where our scout is tracking.
Yep.
It might not be the safest route, but it'd be the quickest route.
All right.
All right,
I hope this wheelbarrow can float.
Make a D20 roll under the strength of Iron Toe as you're trying to wheelbarrow Old Man Witherspoon down this steep kind of mud leaf.
Luckily for you, Iron Toe is strong, but he will lean in and whisper to you, "I'm not holding on if you slip." And Iron Toe.
If I die, my money goes to anybody but you.
What'd you roll?
Yeah.
Iron Toe. Wait, who's rolling?
You were rolling under your strength, Iron Toe, D20.
Okay. D20, I make it.
Okay.
Barely.
So you managed to hold on, and you're kind of going forward. And I think our order was, let's see, Fenario in front. Iron Toe is next to Fenario, but in front of them is Old Man Witherspoon riding an Iron Toe's wheelbarrow. So you guys push your way through these trees and bushes, and this flight of birds kind of startles up in the air. And Old Man Witherspoon, you realize that your feet are dangling out over this yawning 100-yard wide, 100 maybe 200-foot cliff drop into this quarry.
Go back, go back, go back, go back.
Your feet are kind of sticking out of these bushes. And then the sluice and the creek goes past you and forms this waterfall that kind of goes down the side of this quarry, down into a lake that fills most of the quarry below you. And then as the rest of the party, Iron Toe pulls you back and the rest of the party kind of looks down in there, you kind of hear the Lord of the Rings music kind of swell up and these white birds kind of fly around. And Fenario, your gem is just floating right out of your grasp, not moving anymore, like okay, sort of like, this is the place, now it's up to you. Okay. And
by the waterfall.
yep, and down in that waterfall, down in that quarry, you see the leaning statue, a 60-foot tall statue of a human king, like a Northman king. And next to that, a white marble kind of dais with steps going up to it, with 4 pillars upholding like a white marble roof, like some kind of shrine down there right next to the lake. And sticking out of the side of the cliff, right to your left, as the waterfall is kind of rushing past it, are the unmoving troughs of an enormous white marble water wheel that's built into the side of the cliff. Like, if that thing was to somehow move, man, it could really make some machinery happen.
Do we see a body floating in the lake?
No, you don't see any bodies or anything. You see that there's some trees and some overgrowth down there.
We look for a safe way to get down to that level.
Okay.
Might have just slipped and fell in there. That could be why he never came back.
Let's hope that he did not meet in such an unfortunate end. I'll grab my moonstone star and put it away.
Doesn't look like
If
there's...
they haven't, we could tie each other together. In
Well,
case somebody goes.
You have lots of trees to tie a rope to.
Yeah, let's make a little rope bridge as we head on down.
So Badger, you could try a rope to a tree and climb down the cliff. You do find the boot prints of the guy that you're tracking stop at one of the cliffs right in front of you. But man, it looks like he just He-Man'd himself and just climbed down that cliff face.
Wow.
I used to be able to do that.
Guess we need to figure out an elevator system for the wheelbarrow.
No, we don't. I say I jump him on the ground.
I'll give you a hand.
Ride's over.
You could probably tie a rope around Old Man Witherspoon's waist and just lower him down. You'll need 100 feet of rope, though.
I have 50 I can loan for the task.
I
Hayden
have
has
50.
50.
Well, it's 50 plus 50.
All right, so you have enough rope. You want to lower Old Man Witherspoon first?
I mean, I
No.
only have one arm.
No, not him first.
That's why they need to lower you, Old Man Witherspoon. You can't climb. Well, I guess you could climb down. Climbing up would be kind of hard.
All right.
Die.
I will go first, just in case there's something down there. I will hold the ground as the others come down.
Okay. So you reach some kind of gravelly shore next to this waterfall where it's coming down, and to your left, this huge statue of a northern king is kind of leaning at an angle just next to you. It's pretty impressive looking. And then you're down there, and nothing seems to harass you or bother you.
I try to keep from gazing at this magnificent sight until the others join me. I'll go on guard mode, I guess.
Okay, no problem. Everybody makes it down okay, even Old Man Witherspoon. I'm not having anybody fall to their death during some stupid thing. It's not heroic enough. So you all make it down there without any problem, and it's pretty noisy down here. You have to speak pretty loud. You don't have to do that in character here, but that waterfall is pretty noisy.
What?
All right, what do you want to take a look at first? Basically, you have the waterfall, you've got the shrine area, and you've got the statue, and then the lake itself in the bottom of the quarry.
Badger, what do you see?
Can I see the bottom of the lake? Is it crystal clear? Or is it deep and murky?
Let me tell you. Let me see here. Find that part for you. Okay, the lake is kind of murky. You kind of put your toe in it a little bit, and you can feel that the sides of it go pretty abruptly down. Like it might be pretty deep in there.
Mm-hmm.
And floating on the top of the water are some deadfall logs, leaves, and all kinds of, just material from the surrounding forest. And not a solid blanket, but a pretty good blanket covering the surface of the water.
Is there an obvious exit of water from this lake area, or do we see any streams branching off of it farther?
You would think
Many
that
other
it
edges.
should, because of the way the waterfall is constantly filling it. But Badger, you notice that there's just a little bit of a whirlpool out by the middle of the lake. Like maybe it's got a drain built into it.
All right, nobody fall in. I'm not a strong swimmer.
Can't swim.
Brother James, although he's been fairly quiet this entire time, he will look into the water and say, huh, anyone ever heard of this place?
Not I.
How about you, Druid? You hang out in the wilderness?
I have never heard of this place. It's a mystery.
Druid, I will give you a half your wisdom roll. You got to roll under half your wisdom to suddenly have some story match up with the statue where you recognize this figure.
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I do remember something. Nope, that's higher than half. Sorry. No, I couldn't recall.
Now, all you know is that is one of the older kings, pre evil kingdom of Asmergar. Before any of that arrived in the north, one of the old kings of this area. I'm pretty sure that's a monument to him.
Oh, I meant to ask you something else, Ed. The little clay statue back at the inn, was that hag? Did I recognize this being hag stuff? Okay.
You did. So you guys are getting all steeped in the lore, and you don't even have to ask a roll.
The waterfall. Can we get close to it without fear of being swept off of the slippery marble?
Yeah, you can walk right into it if you want to.
I'd like to kind of hold my shield up to keep me a little dry and just kind of peek inside, see if there's anything behind it, like an entranceway, a dugout area.
This being Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no.
There is a cave bear back there. Congrats.
There is a cavern, a natural cavern behind it that
Well,
goes back into the rock. Let me see if I've got a little description here.
hopefully your emphasis is on dungeons and not dragons.
Yeah.
Behind the thundering waterfall is a 10-foot wide and 10-foot tall cave. The cave extends straight back into the rock of the cliff face. Stalactites and stalagmites protrude from the ceiling and floor. Some of the water flows out of the lake and down sort of a natural channel that's been worn in the center of the cave floor, flowing back into the cave. It's pretty dark in there.
Badger, come see if you can track our quarry.
We're in a quarry. There's a quarry. All right, but I'm going to need some light, and I only got torches. I don't think they'll be good down here. It's kind of wet. Anybody got a lantern?
I got a
Or any-
lantern on my
Nice.
belt.
Nice, old man.
I say we all go in here, take a look around. All right, let's all huddle up underneath here, get that lantern lit, we'll take a good look around.
I sort of look in. I hold up the lantern with my one arm look and say, "Okay." I attach it to my belt.
All right, Badger, Druid, you guys notice that there's some kind of white and black guano spattered over some of the formations on the ground, like some kinds of creatures have been flying in and out of here. in this cave is like a lair or a roost of some kind. But the cave goes back as far as your light will go, and it just kind of goes back into the cliff, and it's very dark. And you can't hear anything above the sound of the thundering waterfall right behind you. And you're all kind of cold and wet from going through the waterfall.
Yeah.
Can I look at the guano and see if it has any seeds or any insect parts or anything?
No, it doesn't have anything like that, which is odd for the creature you're thinking of.
Careful,
creature.
boys. There may be blood-sucking birds in here.
Birds. Blood-sucking birds. That's crazy talk.
That is crazy.
Brother James will say, I didn't know birds could live in caves.
I have seen them once long ago. Nasty little creatures. Stick their sharp beaks right into you.
All right. So you guys follow this cave back 10, 20, 30, 40. At about 50 feet in, you can see that this little stream of water that's coming in from the lake outside goes over its own waterfall edge. And next to it, hanging off of a stalactite or stalagmite, whichever is in the ground, is a rope that's been tied off. And this thing opens into a humongous underground cave.
Oh, cool.
So you're coming down here,
Whoa.
down this thing, and it opens up, and there's a rope hanging down here. There's a big waterfall that comes down into this cave, and there's an underground lake, and just an enormous 100-and-something foot statue of this northern king, and at his feet are some bronze doors.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Even if our dude isn't in here, we got to go check this out.
Iron
Yeah.
Toe will say,
You
well.
will drop your linen and start your grinning. We hit the feeder.
All right. Who's going first? Are you using the rope that was left behind by Ulfric, or?
We do have another 50 foot full of rope. We could.
Heck, how am I getting down?
Yeah, let's not put our trust in this. That could be how he met his end.
Let's
heck am I
haul it
getting
up. Let's haul the rope up and test it. See if it's an ancient rope or is it something recent and still in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, Badger.
Okay. Yeah, it looks
Iron.
like it's it's sort of soaked through, but it still seems strong. The knot is competently tied.
Does it look like a fairly new rope?
Newish. Yeah. Like
Does
months old, not hundreds of years old.
Right.
Right.
it look like it was snapped off at the end?
Nope. It looks like, in fact, somebody tied two 50-foot lengths of rope together and then climbed down.
All right. Well, as long as he was competent at knot tying, perhaps we should save what we have left in case we need it later. If you feel confident, Badger, being the outdoorsman, then
And you can go first.
I'll
I
go
trust your
first.
judgment.
All right. Down I go.
All right, Badger, you climb down this rope to kind of like a section of sandy beach next to the bottom of that other next big waterfall. You can see that there's a cave entrance next to you that looks like there's a little section of cave that goes up to your right. And then out in front of you is this underground lake. It's pretty dark down there. Without the lantern, it's kind of hard to see much other than your friends overhead.
All right, I'll light a torch since we're not. I'm not waiting. I don't think they'll be down for a few minutes. So I'll just light a torch so at least I can see around me.
All right. So while
Is it safe down there?
who's climbing down next?
I'll go.
Should be safe.
All right, Old Man Witherspoon wraps the rope around his one arm and starts to kind of slide down. Nariel calls down, is it safe down there? And Badger, you're trying to spark your torch. Roll a d6 for me on a 1, 2, 3. You can light it. 4, 5, 6. You're still working on it.
It lights.
Awesome.
With a 2.
You light this torch up just as something flaps past you in the darkness.
Shoot! It's not quite safe, but come down anyway.
All right, Alex.
You have the one-armed wonder. You should be okay.
Alex, you land on the sand next to Badger. And who's getting ready to come down?
Brother James in his he's wearing in his monk robes. Even though he's wearing armor under it, it looks like he's just a normal monk.
Like Friar Tuck?
Yeah.
Right.
Does he have the haircut?
Yes.
All right,
He's super.
Brother James, you're about halfway down. What's your armor class there, brother?
Oh, I knew that was. Don't let
6.
go.
What's your armor class?
6.
6. All right, I rolled a 5. Okay, so this kind of bird-like with bat wing creature comes down, and you can just barely see it because you're on this cliff face. You're out of the range of the lanterns and the torches. The lantern's down below. Well, the torch and the lantern are down below you. I don't know that anybody has a torch lit up top. And it just kind of smacks into you, and you feel something chink off your armor, and now it's sort of fluttering next to you along the cliff face. And Badger and Old Man Witherspoon, you hear some kind of winged creatures kind of fluttering around you just outside of the circle of your light.
Get down here, quickly!
Brother James will say, the birds are becoming militant.
All right, Fenariel and Braden, go ahead and roll a d6, and if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, let me know.
Okay. I rolled a 2.
What'd you get there, Braden? I think you're on mute there, buddy.
3. Sorry.
All right. So Fenariel and Braden, every time these guys shout back and forth, you hear squeaks and wings flapping way up out of sight in the darkness of the roof of this massive cave. And it seems like the more noise you guys make, the more you stir up whatever is nesting in the cave.
How the hell do we tell them without making more noise? Is it the noise or the light? I mean, can we tell, or a combination?
For sure, the noise of shouting seems to be the first thing you notice.
Oh, great.
All right. All we can do is be quiet ourselves. We can't yell down to them. So.
Right. That's what I'm.
Does one of you want to try to climb down?
Spoken like a true teammate.
Now that Sebastian's character slides down the rope next to his teammates, Badger and Old Man Witherspoon, there's this bat-winged creature kind of harrying him as he slides down next to you. It's right next to him. So if you want to take a free shot, you can each take a free shot. And he's kind of waving it off of him as he's getting off the rope.
Heck yeah, I will.
All right.
Are we supposed to roll high or low?
It's a attack roll, so you want to add your strength bonuses and all that good stuff.
14.
All right, your total is 14. I think you hit it. Yep, you hit it.
What damage do I do again? All right. 6 damage.
All right, you just gut it. You just cut it right in half. It goes down pretty easily. You do hear some protesting squawks out in the darkness, kind of fluttering around you outside of your torchlight.
I whisper to Kip and tell him to go back and wait outside the waterfall. There's no way I'm bringing him up and down this cliff. So.
Okay. Kip goes back out to the quarry and waits.
Who?
His
Braden's
dog.
He's got a.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. All right, he's
You
going
should
down
brought
the
the
road.
rat.
I will go next and warn them to keep their voices low.
I'm going to pull out my bow, and if anything comes within our range of light, I'm just going to try to shoot it with my bow.
Okay. You can make an attack roll.
Okay.
Sort of dim out there, but one flutter's too close.
14.
You hit.
All right. D6. 6 points of damage.
You drop it.
Nice.
They seem to go down pretty easily. Benario, what's your armor class there, kiddo?
I am a 2, but if I'm climbing, I'm gonna have to say the shield's on her back, so we'll give it a 3.
Okay. Something thumps against your shield on your back, and then is fluttering in the air next to you as you come down. But it has the good sense now that it smells the dead of its kindred to kind of flutter away, and you make it to the ground.
As soon as I drop, I warn the others about the noise.
Okay.
I'm a little hard of hearing.
Oh, great.
All right, Braden, you go on
Give him
down.
sign language.
Braden, your armor class I don't think is good enough to be missed by a 17.
No, it is not.
All right, you feel something sticking to your shoulder, and you take a point of damage, and then there's something like perched on your shoulder, and you feel this pain like there's a little dagger stuck in your shoulder.
So can I brace myself and against the wall and try to hold on to the rope with one hand, use my other hand to try to stab it with my own dagger?
You can. I'm going to have you make your choice of a strength or dex roll to not fall off the rope. Or you can just can suck up the damage as you go down the rope.
How many rounds do I think it'll take me to get down?
Just one.
Then I'll suck up the damage then.
All right. This thing is just going to town on you, chowing on you as you go down. And you lose 2 more hit points as you land on the ground next to your friends. And guys, to your horror, attached to Braden's shoulder is this bat-winged bird-like creature with its nose beak stuck in his shoulder, and it's swelling up with blood like a giant mosquito.
I like grab it and try to squeeze it back in or something.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Strength?
Yeah, you just want to roll high.
14 again.
All right. Braden, you get a point of life back, but you have to make a saving throw versus disease, which we'll call D.
Oh, no.
What do I make save throw against?
Versus D. So this thing is in your.
That's a big failure.
So this thing is in your grasp. You're squeezing it, and like blood is spurting out of the top of its nose and going back into the wound, and it's complaining and squawking, in protest and shaking around in your hand.
Just kill it, you fool.
All right.
Iron Toe the dwarf is still at the top,
Okay.
Oh.
so he's gonna try and go down.
All right, Iron Tail, what's your armor class?
Without the shield, that would be 14.
Okay, this thing is, you're kind of rappelling down. You've done a lot of climbing as a dwarf, and this thing, it rolled a 1. So what happens is it comes at you, but it aimed really poorly, and it sort of stuns itself against the cliff face. And then when you're rappelling, your boots come down, and you just crush it to death underneath, and you just keep on going down, thinking to yourself, wow, I wish somebody could have seen that.
They'll hear about it.
All right, so the dwarf lands next to you at the edge of this underground lake, and we can go ahead and roll initiative. Badger, roll a d6 for the party.
3.
Rolled a 2.
Not bad.
So Badger, what you gonna do? There's still stuff flying out, sort of at the edge of your light, 30 feet away, and then poor Braden's got this thing stuck in his shoulder still.
Well, I have my bow out, so I can't really help Braden. So I will just shoot again at one that comes into anywhere where I can see it within the light. I mean, we have a 30-foot radius of light about. So
Go ahead and
I'll
roll
just
it.
take a shot at one that flies too
I
close.
think you get a bonus to hit close range.
Yeah, it's just a 7. So, oh dang, he's moving fast.
All right, Sebastian Iron Toe, you land next to Braden, and Old Man Witherspoon's got his good arm, and he's trying to hold tight to this struggling bird that's spurting blood everywhere, like a bad Saturday Night Live sketch.
It's not funny. It's my blood.
Iron Toe is going to look at Witherspoon and say, "You are too old for this," and he's going to try and hit the bird with his sword.
Okay, you're gonna try to like stab it, so you're not chopping off his one good hand.
I will kill you with my stumps if you do.
All right, go ahead and roll, Sebastian. I think we lost Sebastian's connection. He's frozen.
Okay.
Mm.
Sebastian, roll to hit and call down to me what you rolled. He's coming down. He'll. Okay, so he missed, but he didn't roll a 1. So he didn't stab the bird, but he didn't stab Old Man Witherspoon either. Old Man Witherspoon, what you gonna do? You got a hold of this bird.
Pull it out.
Okay, you pull it out of him. Awesome. So it's not gonna do damage to him anymore. You gonna stomp on it or kill him or?
Yeah.
Bite his head off.
What?
Go ahead and roll a 1d4 plus your strength bonus damage as you
Oh boy, I don't know what I'm doing, but
stomping on it.
2.
Okay, you kill it. You already did a point of damage to it before, crushing it, and you kill it. You save Braden's druid. Yay.
Whoops. Well,
Thank
luckily
you,
we
old
have
man.
a cleric.
That's right. A first level cleric doesn't even have one healing spell yet, so
Oh.
we have a cleric. Sebastian will be back online in a minute. He's just got to get his computer restarted, but we can keep going.
Okay.
Well, despite failing my saving throw versus disease, I'm going to try to use some of this lake water to wash out the wound as best I can.
Okay. You don't feel any different, at least for now. You feel okay. All right, so you're at the edge of this underground lake. From where you're standing, it doesn't look particularly deep, and the water's actually pretty clear. Those bird things seem to be discouraged by the light of your torches and your lanterns. So wherever those are, they try to avoid that. And as you're standing there, you hear less and less wings. Like the longer you're quiet, the less interest they have in you guys.
I sort of turn to Braden and sort of whisper, "Hey, my mother always gave us a lot of this very weird and rare herbal remedy to help us with disease." And I hold up 3 heads of garlic.
Okay.
You should eat them. It might help.
Okay, I'll take 1. Thank you.
Do you eat it? Do you chew it right there, or what do you do?
Absolutely not. I put it in my bag.
Come on, it's best if you eat it fresh.
All right, fine. I will eat it.
It's not so bad. I also eat one.
Right. So you feel a little better, Braden.
Oh, awesome.
Maybe it's just, some kind of strange effect, but maybe Old Man Witherspoon does know a thing or two. Who knows? All right, so you're at the edge of this lake. You can see that the floor of the lake, you can see it through the water. It's very clear. and it kind of goes down about 2 feet, only 3 feet, and then it kind of rises up in a sandbar in the middle of the lake, and then continues around to where there's some steps leading up to the base of that big statue.
Is there any movement in the water? Anything? You see anything swimming around in there?
That is a good question. Okay. You don't, but you do see the upper part of a round shield sticking out of the sandbar, kind of on the other side of it from you.
Does this king look like the same king statue that we saw up above?
Yeah, it's like the same guy.
Same guy?
Yep.
Some creepy tomb. I'm glad we got some clerics of the Everflame with us.
Can if we study the sandbar a little more closely from a distance, mind you, can we discern anything else about that shield that's sticking out?
It's the back of it facing you, so you can see some of the fastenings and stuff like that. You don't really see any other details, but what you do see, Fenariel, is just under the surface of the sand up on the sandbar, you see a little ripple, like something's underneath the sand just for a moment.
I'm assuming there's probably a stone lying about.
Sure.
And how far of a distance between us and over the first section of water to the sandbar?
It's pretty far. It's to reach the shield, you'd have to travel 100 and, well, yeah, well, 60 feet.
60 feet?
Yeah, you can just
right.
barely see it.
I'm going to pick up a stone and casually tell a story about when her father used to take her fishing, and then I'm going to hurl a stone across the expanse of water and try to land it in the sand to see if we see any kind of movement once the sand is agitated.
Yeah, you see a little swirl in the sand around where the stone hit, but then it gets quiet again.
There's some critter out there looking for a snack.
Indeed. Braden, do you know what this may be?
Do I? Can I roll?
You can roll. Go ahead and roll
13.
a 13 under your wisdom.
Yes.
Well, you can't quite really say. Some kind of strange monster that lives in the cave and likes to swim around underneath the sand. And whatever your imagination kind of comes up with, you've never really been in this situation before. It's not a natural thing, though. It's a monster of some kind, you're guessing.
Sure. So I will share that with them, that normally I travel in the woods and the fields, not underground, and I have no idea, other than this doesn't look like any natural creature one would find underground.
Dwarf, you've been underground, right?
Iron Toe will say, well, honestly, not recently. Not within maybe 20 years?
Oh my. I would like to toss another stone, but this time maybe about 10 feet shy of the sandbar, and I want to see if maybe any disturbance in the water causes this creature to react like it did when the stone landed in the sand.
No, you don't see any movement there.
She'll look to everybody. So could we surmise that we may be safe approaching the sandbar, or perhaps finding a way around it?
Well, we left the wheelbarrow, so I guess we're going to have to swim for it or walk across.
I think it's, what, 2 or 3 feet deep, right?
Not very deep.
It may come up fairly high on old Iron Toes, but
He's got iron toes, so if anything bites, he should be fine.
his beard will get a little wet. But hey, probably hasn't been washed in forever anyhow.
All right. So do you guys kind of go around the sandbar area, stay in the water?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
I
let's do
say.
that.
Brother
I
James
say.
will take out a sling he has, and he looks around. He picks up a stone and says, if anyone wants to throw something a bit harder, see if that changes anything.
Go for it.
Brother James says, no, it's quite imperative that I'm not the one to use this.
Fine, I'll take it. I grab it and try to use it.
All right, so you sling a stone into the sand, and again, there's this disturbance in the sand kind of near where the stone landed, but nothing emerges or nothing else really happens.
Nothing might happen, so I say we just go straight over.
Straight over the sand?
Water.
I have an idea it dies of loneliness, but I'm thinking if we could make a lot of noise on that shield with all these rocks that you fellas have been throwing, maybe it would lure all those crazy birds down, and then whatever's in the sand would attack them birds, and then maybe we could at least see what it was, if it's big or small, or because they do get attracted to noise.
Worth a shot.
I'm not too sure we want to do that. I'm not sure I could stand up to another full-on attack by those creatures.
Well, we will create the noise 60 feet away on the sandbar.
If you let me finish this, I'll have something to throw. I say, holding up a large wine flask.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, sling the stone at the shield.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Great. Old Man Witherspoon's going to be drunk.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to need someone to load it for me.
All right, so you roll a hit.
Brother James will load it for you.
14. Again.
It hits the shield. Katank. And again, there's a disturbance in the sand, and sure enough, you see some shadows splitting around over there, and then out of the sand, the mouth of this worm-like creature comes up out of the sand, and got like this triple mouth thing that opens up, and it just snatches one of those birds out of the air and goes back under the sand, gobbling it up.
What color?
Kind of a sand color.
I reverently say Shahalud.
Iron Toe will say, well, if we do that, like, I don't know, 10 more times, maybe it'll be full.
Someone give me another stone?
Does it seem like we could bypass this sandbar safely, or does the
Yeah.
does the bottom around the sandbar seem hard packed, and maybe this creature only lives on the sandbar?
Well, the water kind of, it's like a little island in the middle of the underground lake. You can just stay in the water and walk around it if you want.
I say we bypass this thing, unless we want to see what device is painted on the shield in case it matches something back at the inn.
Or it's very expensive or magical.
Maybe someone can hook it and pull it back.
Ooh.
Or we can
I'll
just send
throw
Old
it.
Man Witherspoon there and let him do it.
I'll do it, and I'll pull it back.
So are you guys going to get closer to the sandbar so you can help out Old Man Witherspoon if things go bad?
When do we have a group vote on whether we should move forward? I sure would like to make it to the other side, but I understand if
So who wants to go to the doors and avoid this sandbar altogether? Raise your hand.
Brother James.
Who wants to go? Who wants to? We got three to go to the door, and I guess we got 3 to investigate the sandbar and fight the creature.
You know,
flip?
I will fight from a distance with my sling while you guys go up and in battle with it.
yeah, if we go on the far side of the sandbar, we may be able to discern something on the front side of the shield. We may not need to, bloody ourselves and waste our resources just to see this. We can just change our perspective.
Yeah, unless we really want to get the shield or we think his body's there somewhere, I don't see why we'd want to do this.
All right, so you go to the other side of the sandbar, and it is a red and white patterned shield. That's the only thing sticking out of the sand. You don't see anything else.
Does the red and white pattern resonate with any of us after having spent time in the north? Is that heraldry or a sigil from a faction or an important person that we should know?
Usually like a family color.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably should have asked her what her husband's shield color was.
Yeah. Or even his name.
I think his name's Ulf, wasn't it? Ulf?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you did. I have it right here. Ulf, yes.
You continue back.
Ulf, not a giant.
You guys continue up to the stairs and just kind of leave that for now, or?
We can always tackle on the way back.
Iron Toe will change his vote to move on. The shield doesn't look very interesting.
Okay. Well, alrighty then. All right, so there's some steps that lead up to the base of this huge statue that's kind of carved in relief out of the stone of the side of the cavern itself. And let's see, there's 2 brass keyholes, one in each door, kind of in the center. And then carved in the stone over the doors, there's some writing in Dwarvish. Iron Toe, are you smart enough to be able to read?
Oh, yes. Iron Toe is smart enough to be able to read.
All right, so in Dwarvish it says, "From rising to resting, the good king labors to unlock the destiny of his people, shining his wisdom upon them as the sun."
Oh. I think this is I think we found a very important place.
Can you say that again, Ed?
Yep. From rising to resting, the good king labors to unlock the destiny of his people, shining his wisdom upon them as the sun.
Right, interesting. What time would you say it was? Late afternoon by now, or?
Yeah, it's probably getting close to, well, not late, about 3, 4 o'clock. Yeah, maybe 4 o'clock.
Do we see any place where you could have torches or anything that might indicate some sort of light thing?
Well, there's some slots in the stone on either side of the door where you could, they're made to like stick a torch in there. There's no torch in there right now.
Sure, I've got 6. I'll put 2 in there and light them up.
Okay.
Iron Toe is getting excited. Like, we may have found the tomb of the good king.
And who is the good king?
The best king?
Be more
I knew that was
specific.
coming.
Isn't there the good king, the better king, and then the best king? Is this the best king, or is this just the good king?
Well, Iron Toe will try and remember his young days as a school dwarf.
All right. Well, go ahead and roll a d20 under your intelligence or wisdom, your choice.
Either way, it's above. So I don't make it.
Okay, no problem.
It's he's a good human king.
It's just out of your memory, or if you think about it long enough, you're pretty sure you'll remember it. But right now, you just can't remember it.
But the king was human, not a dwarven king.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was human.
Unless he had like a thing for being tall, or had insecurities about his height.
I believe that if we are going to try to open this door, if this message is some type of riddle, we should do so before the sun sets. But the keyholes, what do you say?
Oh,
Say, where's Baron Sissyfell when you need him?
Now, you said there are handles on the outside.
There's a torch on either side now and kind of slots
Right.
into the stone. Each big door has got a ring in it to kind of push and pull it open. And then right in the middle of the door is kind of a brass keyhole, and it's pretty good sized.
Right. What if we tie a rope to the brass pulls, give ourselves a good amount of distance, and try to pull this door open while it's still daytime topside?
Sure.
We could put some food on like a hook on one end and have whatever's in that sand trap pull it for us.
Interesting.
I'm just wondering. It seems awfully strange that the woman's husband would just randomly wander down here. I wonder if maybe he had the key and was looking for this place.
Wait,
I mean, was treasure hunting.
I'll just try and pull on the door then. It might be unlocked.
All right.
I stand
Check
back.
the obvious.
Do you want to use your strength to force the door open?
Sure, let's try.
All right. What's your strength?
Oh, my strength is 15.
All right. What is that for forcing a door, fellas? You know off the top of your head?
What are we looking for?
What do you have to roll on a d6 to force a door for strength 15?
Oh,
I'm just checking.
hang
it.
on.
I think I got it here.
All right, if you have it, I won't.
Just have to look it up. Strength 15. That will open a door on a 1, 2, 3 on a d6, Alex.
Come on, buddy.
Go ahead and roll.
Well, one good arm, don't fail me now, and don't detach like the other. 4.
All right. You take a whole 10 minutes just tugging and wrestling with that door, and you're not able to open it.
Still just one arm, but you got a hernia now, so.
I opened the door last words of a
You guys want to tie a rope to the handle and or do you want to have somebody else try to He-Man the door open? Or
We could try my
We
idea.
all did it. If we got a rope and tie it, we'd do a tug of war. All of us.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's increase our chances. It's clear that Old Man Witherspoon, by his lonesome, is not strong enough to pull it open.
Okay.
Try not to laugh or giggle.
All right. So you tie one to the door and you pull on it. Let's have everybody make a d6 strength roll. And you want to roll kind of low.
3.
4.
Gosh.
1.
There you go.
One. There you go.
Iron Toe. Should I roll for me or both my characters?
Both your guys.
Okay, so Iron Toe got a 3 and Brother James got a 5. So
Okay, how'd you do, Badger?
4.
Okay.
Damn.
And Braden, what'd you get?
3.
Okay. What's your strength, Benario?
Oh, a 15.
Oh, okay. So you actually made yours too. All right. So a couple of you made it. So there's this groaning, complaining of the door, whatever's holding the door shut. And eventually there's a breaking sound and the door just swings open loose. Okay. You've damaged or broken whatever was latching it shut. So this big door swings open and there's a pretty loud boom noise.
Uh-oh.
From a compartment in the statue above the door, this shower of green looking stuff showers down onto the rope and onto the pavement. And the thing that you notice is that the rope attached to the door immediately dissolves in half and you're holding a loose rope.
Damn, bloody. Damn bloody dwarves.
Is more coming down?
Nope, it's just kind of in a pool there. You could probably step over it if you were careful. It's like a puddle of green crap on the ground. And then there's some flying noises overhead, but not accosting you yet because you still have your lights going.
If we can make it over this this foul liquid, let us somehow figure out how to keep these doors open. I guess we can't spike them. I don't want them closing if somehow they're enchanted to remain locked at night. I want to be able to get out of here.
We did break the lock, I'm pretty sure.
Hopefully.
Badger had a comment. What'd you have for us, Badger?
Oh no, I was thinking we could find a way to neutralize this acid. Like what is it not dissolving at this point? Is it just on the
It's just on the
stone foundation? It's not dissolving.
Yeah, it's not dissolved. It's
not the pool that's still there. The pool of liquid.
Yeah, it's just kind of a
I mean, maybe we could soak it up some. Not dissolving stone.
Your mic's cutting out there. We're getting some lag from you there, Badger.
I mean, perhaps we could get some beach sand and cover it all up.
You want to throw? Are you saying you want to throw some sand over it to cover it up?
Not from the sandbar.
I'm thinking we could just get some sand from the beach and cover it up.
Okay.
Ooh, could I get a vial of it?
You want to try to get a vial of it?
No.
Yeah.
That's true.
You have a vial.
You have a vial.
Yeah, we can figure out how to keep the doors open.
I look at my wineskin.
Okay.
And I just drink the rest of it.
Okay. So you have this drinking bag, which is not glass. It's made out of cowhide, basically.
Oh, never mind. We need glass or something. Anyone have like a glass vial? I have a flask. Would that work to contain it?
Well, your flask is metal. You're not sure. Yep, that might work, but you don't know.
Does it seem to be eating into the brass doors? I mean, did it splatter on the door? If it's not eating into the doors, you may be okay.
It didn't really hit the doors too much. The one door is completely open, and it just kind of came down where somebody would be standing if they threw open that door and just made a puddle right there. Badger, we're losing you completely. Your connection is really bad. And Tom, if you're trying to talk to us, you're muted.
Oh no.
Oh well, maybe he'll reboot or something. Well, what do you guys think?
Can we see anything beyond now that the doors are open? I'll take a few tentative steps up the stairs and kind of wave a torch forward, not getting near the. Does the green, presumably acid, is it eating through the stone or just sitting there?
Just sitting on the surface of the stone.
All right, I'll get as close as I can and just wave a torch forward. I want to. Can we see anything on the other side of the doors?
Okay. The first thing you notice with your torch is that there's an air current kind of pulling your torch towards the direction of the door, as if it's kind of sucking fresh air into the chamber. You see a chamber that's 30 feet wide, made of large blocks of finished stone. It extends 50 feet north from the door. On the opposite center wall of that chamber, you see another 10-foot wide stone corridor that travels north and out of view. 40 feet from the entrance where you're at, on the west and east walls, on each wall there's a 10 by 10 stone alcove. In each of those alcoves are carved statues of snarling hunting hounds, kind of done in a Celtic style, each facing each other in the room. The walls are decorated with geometric patterns of interlocking triangles and lines. Kind of a common decorative pattern used by the dwarves when they're decorating a chamber of note in one of their halls. Let me see. Yep, that's it. That's all you see.
Is there a way to step over or around the acid to enter the chamber?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just step over it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Mike,
As a dwarf, anything that should be done with acids, poisons, or alcohols should be passed through me first.
okay. So
All right.
you step into this kind of long rectangular chamber that's got 40 feet into it, big statues of snarling hunting hounds kind of facing each other into the room. And then there's a 10-foot wide corridor that goes further into this complex, or whatever it is, into the darkness up ahead. And your torch lights are kind of flickering. You can just make out the hunting hounds. You can just dimly make out the shape of the tunnel on the far side of the room. That's about as far as your light will reveal.
Do we have our scout back?
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What do you think, Badger?
Okay. Let's go in and check. We got a dwarf. He should maybe be looking for some traps in here. Although I think we just set one off.
Yeah.
Does this look dwarven made?
It does.
Yeah. If I'm right, this is definitely dwarven made.
All right, you want to roll a d6 for me, dwarf?
Yeah. 2.
All right. You notice that right in front of you, if you walk towards the hallway on the opposite side of the room, if you just take a straight line across this room, that there's a pressure plate built into the floor in the stonework.
Nicely done.
It's right between the facing hound statues.
Okay.
Let's avoid that.
Yes.
By the way, I just noticed Brother James does have a vial.
Oh, hey, Old Man Witherspoon, Brother James has a vial.
It's full of holy water, though.
But
So-
holy water's valuable. You don't want to lose that.
I'll drink it and store it in my mouth.
Maybe for later, maybe on the way out.
Yeah, keep the holy water.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
I would like to inspect one of the two hounds, say the western hound, being very careful not to step on the pressure plate.
Okay. All right, it's got some kind of a stone tube built into its mouth that's kind of concealed and facing into the room. And the other one, you look over, and the other one's got one too.
Like, and it goes back in, kind of hollow, like maybe something could come out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure to point it out to my companions, but I'll just kind of step away, afraid that I may somehow trigger a trap.
Okay.
Can I ask Iron Toes if he can make anything of the decorative, work around the room? Does it mean anything? Are there any messages hidden inside?
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Okay. Do you kind of inspect the walls and the
Yeah.
carvings and stuff? Okay, roll a d6 for me.
3.
Okay. You you can tell that this is a pretty carefully constructed room, part of a complex that would be reserved for somebody of high rank to the dwarves, somebody the dwarves respected or had an alliance with, or if it was one of their own, it would be somebody pretty important.
This is the tomb of someone pretty important to dwarves, i.e., the good king of I'm not sure.
Iron Toes, you are quite the scholar.
I know.
All right, so now that you've moved into the room, you can see that the northern hallway only goes forward 30 feet and ends in a pair of doors. They look like they're made out of stone, and they have images of northern warriors kind of carved into them.
I know Mike was having trouble with his voice. Did you catch the narration though about us propping the doors open with something, the main doors?
No, I missed that.
Okay. Do you want to use spikes? Does anybody have spikes to spike the door?
I don't. Do you guys have anything? I was thinking maybe rocks from the cavern.
Actually, Braden has some spikes that we got off one of the places. So
Can we use at least one side of those, maybe?
sure, yeah. I'll use 2 spikes to spike the door.
Okay. All right, what do you guys do?
Brother James of the Everflames would like everyone to know that he has 2 flasks of oil on his person.
Okay, great. That's helpful.
Don't burn it, the pagan temple yet. Just hang on to it, and we'll sacrifice it all to the Everflame, but not yet.
All right.
So let's go to the doors.
Are there any tracks at all in this large room, Ed?
There's no tracks, although the floor is pretty much like bare rock, so it would be really hard to spot any tracks here anyway. All right, you guys go forward in your order towards the doors. You walk to within 20 feet of the doors. You're just entering that hallway, and you feel the floor underneath your feet drop about an inch, chunk, and then those big stone doors in front of you grind open very slowly. Kind of sand and grit and gravel kind of shower down.
Holy, get smart.
Exactly right.
Iron
We
Toe will
just
like
announced our presence.
good old dwarven engineering.
I dislike dwarves.
All right. In the distance, up in the surrounding rock and the just the depth of the earth around you, you hear wheels fall into motion and stuff start to turn, and you kind of imagine that water wheel outside being powered by the waterfall starting to turn.
Oh.
In front of you, you see a round stone chamber 50 feet in diameter. Beyond the entry, there's a short little 10-foot wide section of corridor that once you pass through the double doors to go towards that round room, there's a little short 10-foot entry area before you actually step into the room.
Okay.
In the middle of the room, there is a stone dais, and at the center of that is the elaborately carved stone sarcophagus of a dwarf with a beautifully detailed beard. Even the hairs and ringlets and braids of his beard are shown with great care and lifelike attention to detail. The beard seems to spill down around the chain-armored chest and folded hands of the dwarf. The dwarf has no helm, and the top of his head is bald. His brow and face are creased as if he was a dwarf of some very advanced years at the time of his death. Around the base of the sarcophagus, you can see writing, but you're going to have to get closer to read it. At the foot of the sarcophagus, like in the foot side of it, there's a metal disc built into the stonework. It has a big, thick metal handle protruding from it.
Does this mean that her husband has been grave robbing dwarves or dwarven friends?
Does this look familiar? Does it look like the tomb that we found under the eastern caves?
Not at all.
Okay.
This is a good dwarven tomb.
No, I just mean the mechanism with the lever and all that stuff.
Right. Fenario's mind drifts back to the whirlpool that we saw before we came in. So before anybody steps in, she'll hold up her hand and ask them to be quiet just for a moment. Can I hear water rushing anywhere?
You can hear water in the distance as if it's moving through sluices and traces, and you hear stone grinding. You can kind of picture it. It's soft, but now at this point, always present. You hear the sound of water powering some kind of great wheels and gears and engines buried in the earth and around this tomb.
But not the feel that it's approaching.
No.
Okay.
Irontail will say, well, gentlemen and woman, it appears we've activated all the traps of a great dwarven tomb.
We hope.
Yay, says Old Man with a Spoon.
Perhaps we should let our scout take a look before we step into this chamber.
Oh boy, Badger, I think they want you to go first.
But you don't speak Dwarvish,
or at least look.
Well, not only do I speak Dwarves, I don't read it, and I don't read common either. So I'm pretty much not much of a reader. But I will sneak up there and see if I can flush out anything that's in hiding.
All right.
Brave man.
Do you pass through the double doors into the little 10-foot space that is the little short, section
Yes.
before enters room? Okay.
Yeah.
The minute you step into that area, you feel the floor drop under your feet just about an inch, and the big stone doors slowly start to grind closed behind you.
Oh, God.
We either all go in or get them out. What do you guys want to do? Quick.
I guess we're going in.
Oh, heck.
All right, I rush in.
Okay, you rush
I'll
in.
run in too.
All right.
I'll run.
Everybody goes into the tomb, okay, and they sort of, with some finality, close behind you.
I appreciate that, boys and lady.
Oh, this'll be fun.
I won't have to die alone.
All right, what do you guys do?
We'll eat Old Man
Go take a
Weatherspoon
look.
first since he doesn't have much
Look at
meat
that
anyhow.
tomb.
You want to have the dwarf or one of you guys who can read look at the writing around the base of the tomb?
Yeah, definitely the dwarf. And you should check for traps, too.
Yeah, and don't touch anything.
Yeah, Iron gonna do all those things and more. He's going to comment loudly on everything he's doing.
Okay. So in common and in dwarvish, around the base of the sarcophagus, it reads the following. Do you want me to just read it once all the way through and then go over it slow?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So the inscription reads, "Here is Thorfinn of the Silver Halls, nephew of King Wealth, last king under the mountain, brave and loved companion of the good King Gorm the Old of the lands of men. This is the tomb that Thorfinn built for his friend. According to his desires, his clan returned herein to bury Thorfinn when he passed many years later. May the fates and the ages allow these friends a long and undisturbed rest."
I knew it.
Thorfinn and Gorm of Old. That's all
I'll
I
read
got.
it again a little slower, okay?
Okay.
Here is Thorfinn of the Silver Hall,
Halls.
nephew of King Wealth, last king under the mountain. Brave and loved companion of the good King Gorm the Old of the lands of men. This is the tomb that Thorfinn built for his friend. According to his desires, his clan returned herein to bury Thorfinn when he passed many years later. May the fates and the ages allow these friends a long and undisturbed rest.
So we see a likeness of possibly Thorfinn, but other than the statues, which do not resemble dwarves, we don't see anything in here that could be Gorm.
You don't see any carvings of anybody else. The walls are, it's a circular chamber, and the walls are kind of geometric patterns. Although now that you look at it, Dwarf,
Yeah.
there's a space in the middle of the north wall, the west wall, and the east wall where the geometric patterns stop abruptly.
I will point it out. Say, there, and maybe there. There's the patterns stop. Something's probably over there. Maybe secret door.
I was gonna say, let's look for secret doors. I'll take a look in the western side and look for a secret door.
Okay. You guys look around for some secret doors. You don't find any secret doors as such, but what you are able to puzzle out, it takes you a couple of turns to puzzle this out, but some of those spaces will arrive at an entrance or an opening when this room moves.
So the disc moves the room.
The round room is on, you think will move or rotate somehow.
So who wants to fiddle with the disc and the lever?
Nephew of Wealth, W-E-L-F, like wolf.
Thank you.
West, east, last, forward? I have no idea.
So all you've got left.
We know the name Gorm. Is he related? Is Gorm at all related to the King Gudbrand who rules Ostvick right now?
Gorm is an ancestor of Gudbrand's, but from his line before the arrival of the Wraith Lord.
Okay. We're just looking for a way out. I don't think sounds right. We're reading this tune.
The only way that you see into the room or out of the room is the doors that are closed behind you at this moment.
Okay.
So what you've got left is the sepulcher itself, and then there's this iron disc at the feet of the carving of Thorfinn with a big handle in the side of it.
I'd like to inspect the iron disc, but not touch it. I just want to, visualize it and see if I can figure out what it does without, actuating anything.
Okay. It has a carving of sun on the horizon on the right, a full sun above, a sun on the horizon on the left, and then a moon on the bottom.
What time do we think it is right now?
I think it's the afternoon.
What do you guys think about turning it to the, it's hard to visualize, but maybe the right, whatever we assume would indicate afternoon?
But
Okay.
the marks on the wall, they appear to be, we need to turn the room to fit them in. I think it might be a simple puzzle, or a very complex trap for simple-minded people.
Well, the writing outside of the statue said from rising to resting. So maybe if we went through these different phases from what you'd see from rising to resting.
Right.
So Ed, what were the symbols again? There was a moon at the bottom.
So there's a handle. Under the handle is a moon. Above the handle is a full sun symbol. And then there's a sun on like a horizon line on either side.
Wait, does it have to be midday?
It's late afternoon, I think.
So the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So maybe we go that way. So turn it like counterclockwise to face the east, and then to the north, and then to the west, and then back to the.
Badger and Iron Toe know that if you're entering this room, you're entering it from the south, and if you're looking at this handle, that the right side is east and the left side is west.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So it's
you
not.
were right, Tom. You were right, Tom. That's what you're thinking. Start on the right, where the sun rises.
All right.
Okay.
So who's going to grab the handle?
I will.
All right. So Old Man Witherspoon, you grab this metal handle.
Whoa.
One good arm.
With which hand?
With my stump.
Too soon.
And
Too soon.
which way do you want to turn it? Do you want to turn it that way or that way?
Which way do you guys say, or shall we flip a coin?
No, turn
I
it so the
agree.
handle faces to the right. You're right.
Yes, sunrise to sunset.
Do you want to turn it to my left or to my right?
He's messing with you, man. Just talk about your right. Don't talk about his right.
This is,
Okay, I'll do my right.
this is east and this is west. So to the
So-
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he turns it to the right. You hear this like a clockwork thing, crack, 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 crack. And you feel the whole room lurch. And it starts to slide, starts to rotate. As it rotates, you notice that in the ceiling, that there are some cleverly hidden openings in the ceiling. And as it passes underneath certain sections of the ceiling, torrents of sand start to drop down into the chamber. Okay? All righty.
So don't stop on one of those.
All
Keep
right.
going, keep going.
Yeah.
It doesn't move any more than that. It only moves to that one half turn to the right, and then you
Okay.
can't move it anymore.
Uh-oh.
So
The room
Does
spins
the-
around kind of counterclockwise. None of the other walls really reveal anything, but the one that you came in from, that 10-foot wide section disappears.
oh,
And then points down a new hallway going to the northeast. All right, by the time it reaches that northeast hallway, the room lurches to a stop. And there's a couple of drifts of 3-foot tall sand in the room, and then about an inch of sand in the entire room overall.
That's a lot of sand.
Yeah, let's not do that again yet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but you're saying there's a hallway out of
yeah,
this room
you see,
now.
it's ended where there's a 10-foot wide finished stone tunnel made of large hewn blocks heading northwest for about 20 feet, and then it turns east. You can't really see what's down that tunnel past that point.
I asked Old Man Witherspoon if he felt that there's any chance of this handle returning back to a different position. Does it feel pretty solid that where we can walk away from it without it somehow slipping? Or I don't want to go down that hallway if this room is going to turn again.
I sort of release it slightly, like little, to see if it had force, it would attempt to move that way, but I still have a grip on it.
Okay, it won't move.
So before we leave, do we want to open up this tomb, or do we want to respect the dwarf and leave it alone?
I say we respect the dwarf.
Yeah, you better.
Don't want
we're not-
to.
We're not tomb robbers. Remember, we are here to find her husband. And now our
might
way
be
out.
a tomb robber.
We might be part of the tomb.
Okay, then let's head on down the corridor.
Okay. How fun is this?
Terrifying.
Iron Tail will mean that if it's like small valuables, then yeah, he's pretty okay with leaving them here. But if we find like a lot of gold or a magic thing, he's completely fine with robbing it.
All right, when you reach the bend in
His
the
morals are for sale.
That's right. When you reach the bend in the tunnel continues on 50 feet towards the east where it reaches a T intersection. A 10-foot wide tunnel goes to the north and the south at the T intersection. At the very end of the hall, though, just barely, you can barely make out that there's some kind of alcove there and a statue in the alcove, but you're not close enough with your light yet to really make out what it is.
Across from the hallway we're going down?
Yeah, like straight in front of you.
Gotcha.
At the top of the T intersection.
Gotcha. I'll let the people up front deal with it.
I'm going to shield up.
Trap.
Yeah.
Up.
Shield up and make my way forward and glancing behind me, hoping that somebody is following me.
I'll follow you.
Iron Toe is definitely following with his shield up, like next to you, so right below you to the right or something.
I'm behind both of you.
All right,
Behind me.
Benario, you go 10, 20, 30 feet down the hall. About halfway down the hall, the floor drops out underneath your feet and you fall into a pit.
These damn dwarves can't build anything right.
I think that was on purpose.
You take 2 points of damage when you fall into the pit.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
going to hurt.
It's a 10-foot deep pit.
I'm looking up and go, yeah. Want to help me out?
Wait, how
Yeah.
deep is the pit?
Don't step here. It's a pit.
You want to reach down so you can pull her back out?
Yeah, I
Come
will.
on.
Okay.
I'll like lie down and with my one good arm reach down.
Okay.
That's one hell of an arm. You've done a lot with it tonight. I just want to say.
Just don't tire it out.
I lost my other one 40 years ago. I think I'm good.
So Fenario, you scramble out of the pit. Now you've got a 10 by 10 pit in front of you,
Was there
Covers
anything
the whole hallway.
covering the whole hallway.
Anything in it?
Well, I
Let's
didn't
go
know well.
get some sand. Fill it up. Where's the wheelbarrow?
Oh, the wheelbarrow is back up outside.
It's at the top of the waterfall.
I wasn't climbing down with it.
What's on the far side of the pit if we were to get a good running jump?
You can see now the statue a little more clearly.
Okay.
All right, it looks like a strange stone statue of 3 dwarves carved as if they are sitting on one another's shoulders. The statue is facing away from you, so you only see the back sides of the dwarves, who are depicted in armor, helms, daggers strapped to their hips. But it's kind of almost a comical, whimsical kind of a statue because you can kind of see their butt cracks facing you.
I think we went the wrong way.
Iron Toe will laugh loudly.
All right. So that's what you see. Does somebody want to take a running leap across the thing to get to the other side, or?
I ready myself for a running leap. All right. Pat my leg. All right. Don't you He got me through 70 years of heck. You better get me over this measly pit.
Okay.
Run and jump.
All right, you jump to the other side.
Oh, I make it.
Yeah, no problem. And you land on the other side. You're okay.
If any of you fail that.
Anybody want to follow him?
Do we want to just spike in a rope here and toss it over?
What does Witherspoon see of the T section on the other side before we all go over? Is it worth going over?
Do you want to step so that you're kind of looking down each of the intersections, Witherspoon?
Sure.
Okay. To the left, the hallway, to the north, the hallway continues 10, 20 feet out of sight, out of the area of your, well, 30 feet out of the range of your lantern, and you can't really see further past that. Just a 10-foot wide corridor heading north. To the south, it goes 10, 20, 30 feet straight south, but 20 feet down, there's a little 10-foot wide alcoves on either side, and then in the alcoves you see some steel-plated like doorways.
Okay. There's some doors out here.
I look to everybody after he tells us, and so she's Fenario is trying to get. What are we trying to accomplish now? Are we still looking for this man? Are we exploring? Should we go deeper, or should we be concentrating on trying to figure out how to spin that room around and get out?
Well, the guy definitely didn't come in here because there wasn't sand filling up the room when we went in. So
Good point.
He wasn't an idiot.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, he might be dead on that sandbar.
Fair.
He might not
Never
even
mind.
gotten here.
We're
Iron
all
Man used to say, if I know anything about dwarven anything, it's we always have a back door. Can I roll to see if that's true?
Sure.
Okay, what do I roll?
Roll a d6.
4.
You're sure there's a back door in here?
Yeah, there's a back door.
There might be two. You're not sure where they are, but you're sure there's got to be a way, other ways in and out of here.
I mean, this is as good as any, unless you really want to go back and spin the room around some more and risk more sand falling on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I'm happy either way.
Does anybody else want to jump across? You want to spike in a rope? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think spike in a rope and then toss it across to old man Witherspoon.
Okay.
Do I have a rope on me?
Well, we had one more rope, so.
Okay, yeah. I don't have a rope on me, too, so.
All right. So you spike in a rope to kind of help you swing across, and you guys swing across one at a time. Who goes next?
I'll go, Braden.
Okay. Braden, when you land on the other side, it must have been something about your combined weight with Old Man Witherspoon. You feel the floor drop about an inch under your feet, and the dwarf statue spins around, and they all unloose crossbow bolts.
No!
I ducked behind old man Witherspoon.
I hold up my sword to block something.
Okay, Old Man Witherspoon, you take 2 points of damage from a crossbow bolt.
My armor, why didn't you save me?
Braden, you take a point of damage from a crossbow bolt.
Man,
How did we not expect this?
I go on my knees and I scream, "Sissy fell!"
Tom, does Braden have any of those healing potions left?
He does not have a healing potion. Agnar does.
Does anybody have a healing potion as part of your treasure from previous adventures? I don't know that any of you did.
I received something. Let me look here. It wasn't a true healing potion. It was, I received 2, and I gave one to the injured wilding, and it's not a true healing potion though, so I'm unsure exactly what it does, but I'd be willing to give it away.
It does.
That was that half strength one.
It does 1d3 healing over 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm injured. Who else is injured?
My druid's down half. He's only got 3 hit points left.
Oh, half. Yes, I will. I'll toss it gingerly over the gap to the druid. Brayden, catch.
Okay.
Say what?
Don't drop it.
Brayden, you sit down and guzzle that down, and you get 2 hit points back.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Paladin.
Everybody else swings across the gap?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. All right, so you're sort of at this T intersection. There are these sort of leering, comical carvings of these 3 dwarves on each other's shoulders, leering at you with their little crossbows. And then to the south, the tunnel goes out of your torchlight, but in the first 30 feet, there's those alcoves with some doors. And then it just goes north into the darkness.
Which way, Scout?
Well, I think we need the dwarf up front to constantly be looking for traps. But I think
Yeah, that sounds fair. Irontail will take the lead.
I'll go side by side with him, and I think we should head south.
Okay.
That's the way we came into this place, from the south.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's like a metal door. It has a keyhole in it. It has a ring for opening and closing it. Looks pretty well made. The hallway continues to be sort of that geometrically carved dwarven patterns on the walls and the floor, that sort of thing.
So there's 2 doors, right? Or just
Yeah.
one?
There's 2, one on the left and the right. In fact, once you get close to those doors, you see that there's another 10-foot space of hallway and then another alcove with metal doors on the left and the right side. And then another 10 feet, and then it ends in a double pair of oak doors.
Oak.
Yep.
We might be able to escape from there if stuff happens.
Or die.
Keep looking for traps there, my friend.
I will be looking for
All right. Roll a d6 for me, Dwarfy.
1.
Yep, there is a pressure plate right in front of the double doors in the floor. You think you could wedge a rock or something into it to make it so it won't be able to go off.
I will point it out and do exactly that if we have a rock.
Yeah, there's, rubble and little pieces of rock on the floor around here. That's no problem.
Well done.
Okay, what do you guys want to do?
Let's listen at those doors.
Okay. It's really quiet. Quiet as a tomb.
Quiet as a tomb.
That's the double doors we were listening at.
Hmm?
How about the oak door?
Yeah, the oak door. Yeah.
The oak doors are the double doors.
The wooden door is the double doors. You want to listen at the metal doors too?
Yes.
Okay. Quiet as a tomb.
These oak doors look locked.
No, they look stuck.
Stuck.
Can we look on the floor? You said there was debris and stuff. Does it look like any of them have been opened recently? Is any of the debris disturbed other than from us doing it? No.
No, you're pretty sure that you're the only people to come here in a really, really long time.
Not to pressure you guys or anything, but this is probably one of the most important dwarven tombs of our century.
As he's saying this, your one of your torches starts to flicker out.
Brother James will hold up a torch of his own and light it.
Okay. You take 10 minutes to rest, eat.
Sure.
Okay. You do.
Where's the bathroom?
Use a corner loo.
We won't look.
All right.
I'll hold it.
Can we feel any air movement? Is there anything air movement, smell? I know we already listened to differentiate the two doors.
No.
Okay.
Your torch is just kind of guttering straight up.
Are there any markings around these doors? Any symbols?
No. They're unusually plain, not decorated at all.
There's no keyholes or anything in any of these
They
doors?
each have a keyhole in them.
Oh, they did.
Hole
If
handle.
I'm a big dwarf, which I am, I would say that on this side, on one side is the dwarf's tomb, and on the other side's the good king's tomb.
Sounds about right.
All right.
So this must be the dwarf side.
Maybe.
Well, if we had Agnar here, he could just bust through either door and get it over with, but I guess we have to choose.
I can
bust through a
door.
Yeah.
We will stand back as he does this.
So you just have to tell me if you're trying to break through a metal door on the east side of the hall, on the west side of the hall, or just the double doors that are stuck at the end of the hall.
They're all locked.
Well, the metal doors are
The
locked.
metal doors are locked, and then the wooden ones are just stuck.
What do you guys want to do?
We found the trap for the stuck door.
I say the wooden doors.
Yeah, I think we're safe going through those.
Okay. Agnar, roll a d6 to kick open the wooden doors. Not
He's
Agnar.
not Agnar.
Iron Toe.
Okay. My strength is 16.
Awesome.
1.
You kick
Oh.
the doors, no problem. Way to go.
Dwarf power. By the way, when we're back in the inn, Agnar wants to set up a secret dwarven society. So
That's
these
awesome.
guys.
Agnar would love to be on this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a 50
I need any more, you told us.
This is a 50-foot wide chamber west to east, and the doors enter it from the middle of the north wall. And it's 40-foot long north to south, so it's a rectangular room, 50 feet wide, 40 feet long. In the middle of the west wall, there's an opening in the wall that looks like it opens into an adjoining chamber. The chamber is constructed of smooth finished blocks of stone. Along the east wall of this chamber, there's a 10-foot by 10-foot alcove, and standing in that alcove is a 10-foot tall stone statue of a dragon carved to appear to be coiling back to breathe.
Now,
The eyes of the dragon sparkle with a twin set of egg-sized sparkling emeralds.
No, stop.
I hold the door.
Iron Toes, no.
back.
Iron Toes, no.
The chamber itself has the appearance of a former hall constructed for the dwarves. Likely this room once served as the gathering or feasting hall of the dwarves who worked to build this tomb. There is a large 10-foot wide fireplace built into the middle of the south wall.
Fireplace.
The mantle of the fireplace is carved with the coiling scales like the entwined tails of a dragon. Flanking the fireplace on either side are tall, 6-foot-high stone shelves. These still contain stacks of metal plates and flagons covered in dust and cobwebs, once used by the dwarves for their feasts. There are 4 10-foot-long, 5-foot-high stone tables in the room, constructed to be slightly broader and shorter than human tables. Next to these, or in or in a few cases set atop the tables, are individual wooden benches that are beautifully carved, again with kind of a dragon motif. The chamber is very dusty and silent. Cobwebs still cling to the interior of the fireplace and the shelves here and there. So you have any questions about any of that?
Yes, I will look up through the fireplace because they always have to open up to air, and if it's big enough for one of us to climb up, then we have a way to escape.
All right.
Yes.
You enter the room.
Yes.
Oh, no.
No, he doesn't.
Let's
I have my.
By your armor and cloak by the shoulder, and they're like, wait.
Let's think this through. Let Iron Toes have a look first.
Yes, let me have a look first.
All right.
maybe look at the dragon, see if there's.
You want to roll 6?
Iron Toes is guessing from our experience with the Three Stooges back there that this probably shoots fire. D6, right?
So you're looking for like pressure plates and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a D6, right?
Mhm.
Oh, 5.
You don't see any pressure plates or anything like that.
I don't see anything.
Then it must be safe, and I go again.
All right. So you got to let old man Witherspoon cross the room towards the fireplace?
I guess so.
No.
Why not?
Let's have Brother James go check it out.
Our canary in the coal mine.
All
No,
right.
we need Brother James.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, your first level. No, go ahead.
Well, no, because if we find the scroll, that may save our butts.
All right. So
What if he can turn the
Brother
other
James
head?
and old man Witherspoon, like brothers, cross the chamber together and peer up the fireplace. It's pretty dark. What are you using to look up there? Your lantern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Brother James has a torch.
Well, if it goes straight up, then
it
might
does,
have a curve.
it does go up as far as you can see. You do see some fallen in debris. It looks more like tree branches and things like that than rock and stone masonry.
Okay. So,
You don't see any sky or light. Your torch does flicker like there's a draft going out that way though.
so we won't suffocate. Good.
Like there's some kind of air current going out that chimney. And it is
Never mind.
enough that if you scrabbled yourselves in there and braced your feet against the side of the chimney, you do think you could all climb out of that chimney.
Oh.
I'll tell everyone the good news. Hey, there's a way we can escape and get out of here.
Brother
That
James.
makes them work.
Yeah.
That is good news.
Well, if we know that this place is here and that we have a possible escape while we're here, perhaps we should continue to explore a little
You
more.
want to examine this dragon with giant gem eyes?
Well,
Well,
I'm sure Iron Toes does, but I don't want to be anywhere near the gaping mouth when he does.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. If we can examine it and just see if, from the side, and see if there's in fact a tube in its mouth. Okay, I can do that.
Who's gonna
Okay,
walk
let's
out?
all stand out of the way. I like the idea of not being in front of it.
Yeah, I'll
I'll be
approach
behind it.
from the north along the east wall there, and just try to saddle up to it and see if I can see. Does it look like the mouth actually it has a tube in it or something?
Okay, you try to take a look, and the head turns and swivels and looks at you.
Oh, dang! I duck.
And in Dwarvish it says, "What's the password?"
Um.
Wrong. Roll initiative.
no.
Ah,
I was just looking at my notes, man. I would have said good King Gorm.
That's wrong too. That's okay.
Oh, okay, okay. At least I feel
Have time to
vindicated.
translate it.
We're employees.
All right. Who's getting initiative for the party.
Just looking for the bathroom.
All right, Alex, you want to roll a 6-sided die for your initiative for your group?
Yeah. 1.
Oh boy. All right, the dragon goes first. What's your armor class there, Braden?
Not very good. 5.
Okay.
On struck.
All right, that's like a 16, isn't it?
To hit me, I need a 14.
14?
Oh, well, or even better if they're higher level. Because normally first level characters are like, they go 19.
All right, well, it misses you. It tries to bite you, tries to bite off your head with its big, stony, dragony, animated mouth and misses.
Oh, okay, so they actually came to life rather than just shooting flame at me.
Totally animated, climbs sort of sinuously grinding like a stone statue would out of its niche and tries to sweep at you with the claw. That hit.
Ah!
You take 2 points of damage.
I fall in a heap and pretend to be dead.
All right, everybody else can go. Fenariel, what do you do?
I see Braden drop and getting the cuddling on the bottom, pretending that he casts feign death on himself. I'll rush forward, shield first, and try to hack down on the stony snout of the dragon.
All right, roll a hit.
All right. Nope. 8 plus 1 is I got a 9.
Okay, it kind of glances off the stone. Old Man Witherspoon, it's up to you.
I have a feeling that hitting it with my sword isn't going to do much. I wish I had a mace or a pickaxe or something.
Brother James has a warhammer.
Does he hand the warhammer to Old Man Witherspoon?
Yes, Brother James is made of noodles and marshmallows. He's a science project. He will hand over his warhammer willingly.
Okay, I'll go up and try to hit the dragon right on the head.
All right, go ahead and roll a hit.
16.
You hit, hooray!
Yeah! How much damage does the warhammer do?
1 to 6.
1d6 plus your strength bonus.
Okay.
It's mighty.
Come on, Thor, you can do it.
4.
All right, 4 points of damage. Nice. Yep, you chip a big chunk out of its snout. You definitely do damage to it. All right, Badger, what you doing there, buddy?
Maybe the password is.
I will shoot an arrow.
Okay.
That's about all I can do. Fairly decently. All right. Face out of the way. Ooh, an adjusted 22 if he's at short range
You got him.
Yeah.
for 5 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, you hit him really good. You did chip a big old piece of stone out of his shoulder. You hurt him. All right, let's see. Iron Toe.
Yeah. Iron Toe. Definitely where all my good karma went when creating characters. He will draw his sword and go in for the kill.
All right. Roll a hit.
4.
Lances off the side of the stone dragon. Let's see. You still have.
In
You still
in
have.
Dwarvish.
You
In
still have.
Dwarvish.
Go ahead.
In Dwarvish, he will shout, "Oh no!"
All right. What does your cleric want to do?
He just handed off his warhammer. He is now completely unarmed, except for a sling. So yeah, he'll take up his sling, pick up a stone, and sling it at the dragon.
Awesome.
Okay, 16.
You hit.
Oh. Yeah.
The sling does. 1 damage.
Right. Kind of blinks off the side, makes a little tiny crack. You did good. All right, I think it's initiative again. Let's have Badger. Badger, roll initiative for the party.
Okay. 3.
All right, I got a 4.
Oh.
Let's see. Braden is down playing dead, so the dragon is going to ignore him. So we have left Fenariel, Old Man Witherspoon, Sebastian's 2 guys, and Badger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The dragon swivels and stares the dwarf right in the eyes, and then attacks the cleric. But you get the sense that the dragon would not attack the dwarf.
Okay.
Don't hit them. They're they're dwarves with gigantism.
All right. Incredibly, the cleric is missed with the bite and is hit with the claw. The cleric takes 3 points of damage.
Okay.
All right, Fenariel, what are you doing?
I grab Iron Toes, put him in front of me, and then hit down with the hilt of my sword on the dragon.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. 3 + 1, 4.
Okay. Old Man Witherspoon, with your hammer, what are you doing?
At first, I'll just sort of be still for a second. If you do anything else, we'll kill the dwarves.
Not what you said.
Okay. Do you hold your action to see what it does?
Sure.
All right. Iron Toe, what do you do?
Oh no! Help me! I've been captured.
Okay, you say in Dwarven, oh no, help me, I've been captured.
Yes.
What does the cleric do?
The cleric will try and play dead.
So he just gets hit, keels over, and pretends to die.
Everybody's going to pretend like they're dead.
Pretends like he's dead. Badger,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Shoot, Badger, shoot.
Shoot, Badger, shoot your weapon.
I pretend like I'm dead. I'm going to position.
Okay.
All right, I'll shoot.
I feel like I'm playing with Stephen Hawking's here.
I
Oh,
know.
you don't Oh, yeah, that's a miss.
Okay. Braden, you're still playing dead. Do you just keep playing dead?
No, if it's back his turn to me, I'll get up and give it the old spear.
All right. Go ahead and roll hit.
Yeah, my internet's terrible for some reason.
I
don't know
should have
what's
stayed
going
playing
on.
dead.
Okay, you missed with your spear. All right, it's the next combat round. Let's see. Scenario, go ahead and roll for the group.
All right.
Roll high, please.
I got a 4.
All right, you guys get to go first.
Woo!
Yeah.
Scenario, you slam at it again.
Yes, I look in disgust at everybody feigning death. And
Yeah, I got back up. Don't judge.
That, that hopefully that superpowers her anger. And 7. Damn it.
Nope. Alex?
I told you last time I was a horrible die roller. I got lucky with that 20.
Yeah, I'm no better than you. I just rolled a 5, so. Well, not for this round, for the last
You want
round.
to do your attack?
Yeah, if nothing's happening.
Yeah, there's nothing happening.
Oh, 18.
Yeah.
Five damage.
Nice. You knock a big old chunk out of it. All right. Let's see. Sebastian, your cleric, is he going to stay on the ground?
He notices that the other person got back up and thinks about it. looks and he's armed with a piece of cloth and string. And they're fighting a stone dragon, and he's gonna stay on the floor.
All right. What does Iron Toe do?
Iron Toe. Well, I'm not sure if the dragon will like attack me if I attack it. I mean, I tried to attack it, but I missed. So, does it look like it's pretty badly damaged?
It looks damaged. It's got some chunks out of it, but it still seems pretty determined to bite and claw people.
Oh no! Help me! Save me! I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Oh my God. All right. Badger, it's up to you, buddy. It's all on you.
I know, I still get to swing too. I didn't swing yet this round.
I know. Maybe throw your attack result in chat. We're really not
Go
hearing.
ahead, Tom. Did you go, Tom?
Still pretty
Okay.
bad. Can you throw your result in chat?
That's a miss.
Okay.
All right, I still have to attack Ed, so.
Okay.
Ooh, 17.
You hit. Woohoo!
I did a massive 2 points of damage.
All right. You've knocked 17 points of damage into this thing so far. You're doing good. Looks pretty beat up.
Keep it going.
All right. It turns on Old Man Witherspoon with his comment about killing all the dwarves.
No!
Charges over to Old Man Witherspoon. It's going to attack him.
I take it back.
Well, it hit you.
There, bring it on. Lizard lips.
It bites you. You take 4 points of damage from its bite.
Ouch. How many hit points do you have?
I have 8 total. I took 2 earlier, 6. I'm at 2 now.
Ugh.
And it misses you with its claw.
Oh, so I guess I'm gonna be near death every combat I'm in ever. How fun!
Yeah, we gotta take it out, guys.
All right, Tom,
And
you want to roll initiative for the party?
Okay.
Come on.
Ah, 2.
All right, the dragon goes again. It's sure
No!
to kill the Old Man Witherspoon who
Duck, old man with a spoon. Play dead.
I'm in full plate mail armor. I should be fine for this time.
19.
Oh no!
Oh,
No. 2 points of damage.
Oh,
So he really does drop.
You're at 0.
Yeah.
I'm playing dead.
Oh, no, Old Man Witherspoon plays dead.
Wow,
That's
So
Natural
good at
20.
it.
he's really good at it.
Yeah, he is. And
There you
just to add insult to injury, it puts its big old claw on him and does 5 more points of damage, just squish him to the floor.
Oh, man.
And says in Dwarvish, that'll teach you to kill dwarves.
It was very sarcastic.
Sorry, I told you guys don't get too attached to your character.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's old school.
That's okay.
All right, let's avenge him.
We're going to have to wrap up after this room anyway, so maybe they'll haul you back to town. Benariel.
All right, I'm pissed. He killed my one-armed companion.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can actually hit tonight. 3. Nope, I missed again.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Sebastian.
Yeah, Iron Toe the dwarf will stop doing his charade and actually hit the dragon.
All right.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, my God.
Way to go.
Yeah, so that is awesome. 7 damage.
Awesome.
Revenge for Lefty.
You knock one of its horns off completely.
Keep it going, boys. Come on.
Looks pretty rough at this point.
All right, I will swing.
Go ahead.
I mean, a stab with my spear.
Yeah.
Oh, a 6. That's not going to hit. Oh, and I rolled 5 for damage too. Dang.
All right, Badger.
Come on, Badger.
All right.
An arrow right between his gem-studded eyes.
Ooh, we got the
Mike.
gem win.
What'd you get?
15?
I hit.
Come on, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
Roll your damage.
13. Oh, yes. 4.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. One of the gem eyes is looking loose in its faucet with an arrow kind of lodged in there, and it's looking really, really rough. Cleric. It looks
Well,
like just one well-placed sling stone might be enough to actually take this thing down.
yeah, Brother James of the Everflames will get up and actually do something for once.
All right.
Natural 1.
You should have just stayed down.
It's a 0.
Okay, awesome. This sling stone comes flying across the room and just narrowly misses Braden's head.
Boing.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
If I was going to die, being killed by a fellow party member who rolled a 1 would have been funny. So.
Alex, you're now rolling for the dragon.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see. Let's have Bad. Let's roll him roll a d6 for initiative, and Alex, you roll a d6 for initiative.
1.
Yay, we like it, Alex.
Yay.
All right. All right. You guys get to go first. Badger, you can fire again.
No.
All right, Tom.
Oh, 18.
Oh, you
I
hit.
did 5.
All right, you stab with your spear, and one of the gems, you hit it in the head, and one of the gems falls out of its facet, and the other one stops glowing as well, and the whole thing kind of falls in a heap on the ground.
And I named my spear Dragon Slayer.
Awesome.
Yep. Mhm.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I suppose you guys get to divide Old Man Witherspoon's stuff up.
He bind his wounds, or is he way gone?
Oh, that's 0 hit points.
Or -5, right?
He's dead, but you
Negative
can,
5.
you can wrap him up in his cloak and try to haul him back to town.
Brother James,
Oh, yeah,
join
we'll
me for a
definitely
moment
do that.
and let us say a prayer for the fallen Old Man Witherspoon and hope that his body will remain as whole as possible, minus his arm, of course, until we get back to town.
I mean, he's 70, so he still lived a full life no matter what.
Well, let's
Well, we
let him
did
last till
raise a henchman
71.
We did raise a henchman last go around. How much
Right.
does the dwarf think that these gems may be worth?
Oh, yeah. Iron Toe is frothing at the mouth.
In sadness and in greed.
I know. Have you no reverence for the dead?
Oh, this is about the death of our friend. I'm very upset.
As he
You're going to have to
gem.
carry the wheelbarrow with my corpse.
Oh! Oh, no.
So
glad
Searching
we
through his
brought the
pouch for his 5 gold pieces.
What?
one of the emeralds is still kind of sparkling and giving off an aura. That one is worth 500 gold.
Okay.
One of them has gone kind of a dim and isn't sparkling anymore. It looks a little damaged from the fight, and that one is worth 300 gold.
And if
I
you
don't think
lose-
that's enough to raise.
If you take my money, I have a 70 gold on me.
It's only 250 gold to resurrect somebody of lawful alignment.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can definitely. And you're lawful.
Yeah.
All right.
can
Yeah,
save
we can
this
definitely
guy.
do that. We use 70. You're 70, and then we'll just kick in 180 from our group treasure. Cool. Now
For-
the question is, how bad do we beat up his body, dragging it up the chimney?
We have a rope.
Now, Dwarf, before you leave this room, you do have some plates and some mugs.
Oh, it's true.
There are 35 plates and 12 mugs. They have an intrinsic value because they're heirlooms of the Lost Kingdom of the Silver Halls. Each plate is worth 20 gold, and each mug is worth 50 gold.
Wow.
I will be keeping a mug for myself.
You
A
can
mug
pack,
for all of us.
you can pack all of this into your packs. It's stuff you can fit and carry out.
Excellent.
That's another 600, and then that is 700. So total in treasure, that's 2,100 gold pieces worth of treasure total,
Mm-hmm.
and also experience points for the party. And then the animated stone dragon, which had some reduction on some of your different kinds of damage, that was worth 1,500.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's see, that's 3,600.
So 600 each.
So 600 experience points each, fellas.
Excellent.
Wow.
So if we had 2,100 and we divide that by 6, then that would be
Little over 300.
so 350. So we'll just pay for his resurrection out of his share.
And,
Well, he's still going to get 100 gold, and he keeps his 70. So, and then he gets,
yeah. So lawful characters get resurrected for 250 at the Temple of the Everflame because they're so awesome. They can only resurrect one person a day. They will resurrect neutral characters, but it costs 500.
Could Brother James perhaps get us a discount for being an actual like cleric and priest of the Everflame?
No.
Okay.
Oh, so he's neutral. Witherspoon.
No, he's lawful.
Lawful
Oh, okay. There you
for the
go.
most part.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to pay for your whole resurrection. We'll kick in, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So at any rate, do you use the chimney escape and get out of this place for a while?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's mark its location on the surface so that we can resume exploring here if necessary.
Yeah.
On our way back, we should probably tell what was her name? What's her face? That her husband is probably dead. Well, let's pretend we know exactly what happened and say he died.
Dead. I can't make a comment on that.
No, let's give her some hope and say that there are signs of him, and we will search again.
Corpse says, "Ask for the colors of his shield banner thing."
Oh, yeah. And yes, and by the way, what was his name? Oh wait, we did that.
Ulf.
Why can't I remember that? Yes, his does he have heraldry or does he carry a particular shield?
Yeah, he has a red and white shield.
So yeah, we'll talk soon. Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
get back to you on that.
Well, that was a lot of fun, fellas.
Thanks. It was great.
Thanks for running.
I'm just glad it didn't breathe fire on us. That was my fear.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that.
I thought it was how it lit the fireplace on the opposite side. You know, some dwarven party trick.
There you go.
That will be a fun dungeon, a little different than the other ones you've been to, but that will be a fun dungeon for you guys to explore when you're ready.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
And
All
so
right,
what
well-
was the password, Ed? Was it something we should have known?
Oh no, I'm not telling you that because
Okay, that's fine.
it could come up later.
Oh, true.
Yep. You've just scraped the surface of this place.
All right.
With our
Well, nice
blood.
meeting you,